we're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is, I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series. Burn it down, push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're locked but never bound. Burn it down, yeah, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Steal the crown, it's do or die time. Joker's chaos, it's the only way. Live for the race, no tomorrow today. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series. Burn it down, push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, yeah, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Burn it down, yeah, till the engines fry. Joker series, where the feelings fly. Burn it down, yeah, till the finish line. In the case, we're alive, we shine.
Cutting through the air, every nerve alive. The world's a blur of motion, only speed survives. Pressure in the veins, time is breaking down. Take the line that twists away, no turning back now. Adrenaline, adrenaline, rushing in the bloodstream, can't contain. One chance, one line, overtake, redesign. sparks ignite. Push it harder, cut the night. Grip the wheel, it's all or nothing. Edge of fear, adrenaline flooding. One shot left, I can't rewind. I'm locked in, chasing time. Closer now, the light is burning. Every turn, the tide is turning. Risk it all, I feel alive. This is the moment I arrive. I'll break the line, I'll cross the fire. Ride the speed, I'm climbing higher. No holding back, the world is mine. One last lap, I'll break the line. I'll break the line. Crowds are up, the ground is shaking. Every move, the future's waiting. Through the smoke, I see the sign. This victory will be mine. Closer now, the light is burning. Every turn, the tide is turning. Risk it all, I feel alive. This is the moment I arrive. I'll break the line, I'll cross the fire. Ride the speed, I'm climbing higher. No holding back, the world is mine. One last lap, I'll break the line. Engines roar, the night ignites, speeding through the neon lights. Salamanders call, we hear the sound. The Joker series is going down. Twist the wheel, feel the flame. Every track is not the same.
Go.
Feel the thrill. Ooh, yeah. The Joker series, chase the skill. Round and round, we play the game. Fast and wild, never tame. Never tame. Never burns. The crowd goes wild. Victory's grin, the racer style. And across the globe, we're locked in tight. Salamander leads us into the night. Turn the corner, speed away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Salamander Racing Channel, where we bring you another edition of the Salamander Racing Joker Series. This is going to be an exciting one. I've got a couple of fellow commentators that are going to join us for this one. First off, I've got my buddy SlowMoe running on LeagueCom. SlowMoe, how you doing today?
Sal, I'm doing great. Really excited for our Joker series tonight. Really fun combo. Some excellent cars for these guys to choose from, and some really great prizes for them to win as we get through. So really great night of racing. I'm looking forward to. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And then in addition, we've also got my good friend C-Dubs. Hey, C-Dubs, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm good. I appreciate you having me. Looking forward to this. It's definitely going to be a fun one. Glad to have the sponsor and the fun prizes at the end here, and glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep, absolutely. So, real quick rundown of what we do here for anybody who's new. In the Joker series, we try to run races a little bit outside the bounds of what the normal rule set is. We run Joker laps. If anybody's familiar with Rallycross, that's where there's an extra section of track that you have to take on at least one of the laps of the race. It kind of changes things up a bit, gives people a little bit more strategy that they have to incorporate into their race. So that's what this is all about. It's been a fun series so far. And as the two guys have mentioned, we do have a sponsor on board with 4D Racewear.
Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet.
All right, thanks for that, C-Dubs. All right, so we've got a fun set of races today. SlowMoe, you want to just take people through what we've got on the agenda?
Yeah, happy to, Sal. Thank you. So today we're going to start out with a couple exhibition splits. The configurations for the exhibition splits are just a smidge different than what the gentlemen in the prize split are going to be running. So it gives these guys a chance to kind of come out and test some cars. They cannot run the same car twice. So if they run the Corvette in the first exhibition, they've got to choose a different car for the second one. So a little, little bit of challenge that goes along with that. And then we will move on after those to our prize split, which obviously we talked about. There's some really cool 4D racewear on the line for these guys that will be given away to, I believe, our podium winners. Is that correct, Sal?
That is correct. First, second, and third place will be winning some 4D racewear gear. So stick around to the end. We will be showing you guys what those different prizes are when we get to the prize split. So that being said, let's go to what the configuration is going to be for the exhibition split here today. SlowMoe, can you take us through that as well?
Absolutely. So as you guys know, we're here at Interlagos. The exhibition race is going to be a 17-lap race. They have to conduct one Joker lap through those 17 laps. The tire wear is going to be set at 8 times, and these are sports soft and sports mediums that are required. All of the sports compounds are allowed. If somebody does choose to run a different compound, they're welcome to. The fuel burn is going to be at 2 times, and then the refuel rate is going to be 3 liters per second. You'll see there on the right, they've got their choice of 4 vehicles to choose from. So you've got the 4C, the Corvette, the Altenza, the RCZ, and the Mustang. So that'd be very interesting to see, which car some of these guys are choosing. Obviously, we know some guys are, they're diehard American cars, so they're going to run the Corvette or the Mustang no matter what. I'm really curious to see kind of what the breakdown of vehicles in these splits is going to look like.
Yeah, all these cars are surprisingly competitive. They're loosely based on the Group 3 layout, but they are road cars. The one thing that we don't have on this graphic here is that there is some tuning allowed in these cars. There's some suspension tuning and differential tuning, and in the testing I did and the practices I've watched these other guys do, there's definitely time to be had by putting a tune on your car. So that's going to be important. And that actually kind of dovetails us into, we're going to talk about the keys to this race. And really the first key to the race is to not over-tune your car. With the tuning allowed, you can certainly tweak things, and you can definitely get some faster times out of your car, but you want to make sure that you don't take it too far and get your car either undrivable or the tire wear too much. So hopefully the guys put in some practice on this and didn't go too far with their tune.
Yeah, Sal, my key to the race is going to be consistency. There's a lot of room for error on this turn. There's a lot of on this track. There's a lot of twists and turns these guys are going to navigate through their 17 laps through the exhibition, and obviously the longer race for the final there. So consistency is going to be key. I have a feeling that this race is going to be determined by just a very small fraction of time. And consistency could make the difference between a podium finish or maybe 10th place.
Yeah, and my key to the race is to stay out of trouble. So not going to be as big of a deal here in the exhibition splits, although obviously you should always stay out of trouble. But come time for the prize split, obviously damage is going to be turned up. So no need to add more pit stops to your race than you have to. And just real quick, shout out to TKs. He said there were some handsome fellas, and I tend to agree with him. So thank you, TKs, for that. Appreciate it.
Thanks, TKs.
All right, so with that being said, that's kind of a review of what we got going on today. I am going to jump out of here. I will come back later in the broadcast after all the races are done. But for now, I'm going to go talk to the drivers, make sure everybody's set, see if we can get some more people. This is the time for anybody who wants to join the exhibition split. Come on in. As long as you're friends with me on PSN, it is a friends-only lobby. You can come on in. So just look for me, salamander_MN, if you need to send me a friend request. But, come on in, join the lobby. This will be a fun set of time. Make sure you have read the rules first. Of course, you need to know the rules of how the Joker series works. But as long as you're familiar with that, we'd love to have you. We want to try to get some more people into this first lobby. I'm sure we're going to have some of the prize split drivers in here kind of using it as a practice session. So that'll be fun too. But until later, I'm going to turn it over to these two gentlemen to just kind of talk you through some things, and then we'll get this race underway. So
Hey,
see you
Sal,
guys a little later.
before you mute, we had Shaky Mark in the chat had asked, are we running the Joker lap twice, or is it just a one Joker lap?
Nope, just one Joker lap.
There you go, Mark.
It's not like last month. Last month at Catalunya, we had two Joker laps because there were two different sections. But here at Interlagos, there's only one.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Thanks, Sal. So, C-Dub, as Sal kind of steps back there to get production going, what are some of the strategies you think these guys are going to need to work through to be able to be successful here? Sports tires, right? So they can get a little bit more life out of their tires. The chance of those softs being completely shot like we see when you're running some of the racing tires might not necessarily be the case with the 17-lap exhibition.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're set at 8 times. So tire wear will come into play, even with them being sports, and the sports course seem like they last forever, but at 8 times, they may come into play. I hope everybody's done their practice, and I think we've mentioned it, but, obviously have to use mediums and softs.
Right.
That was the case in both the exhibition and the final split, I believe. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who comes out on what. Obviously, if you come out on softs, you're probably going to wear them a little quicker. Fuel is probably going to be a concern as well. So how they treat the cars and maintaining or conserving fuel and tires, same kind of stuff.
Yeah, this track can be kind of tricky. It's almost got that section where it's similar to like switchbacks on a mountain. It's just left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and it can be really easy to lose control of your car if you're getting on the throttle too quick. You're putting too much steering angle in the beginning of the turn or the end of the turn, or your timing's just not right. So there's certainly a lot of opportunity for error through this track. C-Dubs, what car would you take if you were driving today?
You know, I love that 4C. I haven't practiced. Unlike usually with this, I'll try to get into a practice course. This has been a crazy busy week for everybody with PhD and everything else going on, so I did not get practice. But I'm a big fan of that 4C. I always think it handles well. I'm looking at the lobby. I'm not seeing any 4Cs yet, so maybe these guys know some. Oh, I do see one 4Cs, but a couple RCZs. So we'll see what the field chooses here. The other thing here, I'm not great at just switching my mindset, right? Like I've practiced a certain thing. So for me, a lot of practice for Daytona for PhD, and you're used to these powerful cars on soft tires. Well, here we've got powerful cars on sports tires. So just to reiterate what you were saying in this particular layout, unless guys have really ran some laps today, ran some practice, there's probably going to be a tendency to get on the throttle a little too early, and we might see a few spins through that section.
Yeah, for those guys that are, frequent attendees at the TK's Tuesdays, they might have a little bit of advantage over some of the other folks because that's generally a sports type setting. TK's loves those sports type tires. So that may give some of these guys a good advantage over other guys that aren't familiar with running on sports. I know, I speak for myself. Most of the time I'm on racing tires. It's very rare that I end up going out on track on sports unless I'm in a TK's lobby or, something kind of a one-off setting.
No, great point. Yeah, TK's has been training everybody for this race for the last however long. Exactly right. So, and speaking of TK's, I believe he's going to join us this evening. I don't know if he's going to be in any of the exhibitions. I know he's in chat, so maybe. Looks like he probably is. He's asked for just a second to get his car in there and get tuned up. So. Yeah, I would expect TK's to do well. And so last call, guys, we've got a few in the lobby. If you're wanting to join the exhibition, please get in here. Sal's going to give us here just a couple more minutes for guys to work on their tunes, get their cars selected, and get into the lobby. So please come in and join if you're thinking about it. Come on in. Can't hurt a thing. It's fun. It's an exhibition. We're not going to laugh at you too much.
Yeah, no. I certainly won't. C-Dubs might, So let me ask you this, C-Dubs. Sal mentioned that there is that potential to kind of over-tweak or over-tune your car. What do you think are some of the pitfalls that somebody could make when they're getting in there and maybe overdoing it a little bit?
Sadly, this is such a Shaggy question because he loves the tuning aspect of these things. I've not done enough tuning on cars. The few dailies that there's been tuning allowed, which has been quite a while, I usually just cheated and went to Digit's website or something and looked up the settings. Yeah. So I wouldn't have an intelligent response to that just because I never try it. But I understand what he means. You could certainly get carried away. You could set a tune, go out there, run a decent lap, think, okay, that's a decent tune, but maybe you just were on that lap. So you go in there and start messing with stuff, and you could see where that could go down a rabbit hole in a hurry. So, I would be just like seriously DMing people on the side, like, hey, help me out here. I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, I mean, I know I've done some tuning where, I used to do a lot of the high speed stuff where me and another friend would say, hey, let's see who can make their car go the absolute fastest. We get on special route X, and you dial this thing up, you put the suspension all the way down, you do all this different stuff. Then you take that car to another track and it's almost undrivable in some situations. So I could certainly see how you could overtweak or tune something and, you mess with that suspension too much. And on a track like this, you are going to have to be able to drive that thing. So, I don't think dropping it all the way down is the answer here, but maybe dropping it down a little bit helps. It's hard to say. I guess we will see.
Sure. Yeah, and just as we're sitting here, okay, you're not logged into the lobby right now, SlowMoe, but I'm just kind of calling out the cars here. It looks like we've got 2 4Cs, 2 RCZs, and a Corvette, and hopefully we get a couple more people in here. Actually, we're getting ready to qualify here for the first exhibition series, and so SlowMoe, he's getting qualifying going. If you want to take it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's go hit the track here and check out our first of 2 exhibition races for tonight. My Got to do a couple little settings here. My screen's a little smaller than I like it to be. So you're going to watch these drivers come out and run their out lap, and then we'll get on to the hot lap there right after that. Taking a look at the liveries that these guys have got going.
A nice little Red Bull livery there. Josh Moment. S2C with the classic Alfa Romeo Italian colors there. Oh, wow. I like it. I like it. Almost like a Jamaican theme, I would say.
Yeah, it's sharp. Take a look at RTS Bandit running that. He's in the Corvette. I know he certainly favors this car over some of the other that are the options. And I also know that he's put in a reasonable amount of practice for this, so we'll see if he is able to overtake somebody like Nasty, Josh Moman, S2C, or Fernando tonight.
Yeah, I know Fernando spends a lot of time in this type of configuration too, so I would expect him to do well. We know that Josh Moment's he's always fast.
He's fast. Yep.
I've seen Bandit. I don't know enough to speak intelligently on his racecraft and abilities. Of course, the SSC's always there. He's always doing well. Nasty. All fast guys in our normal races, but yeah, we've got some curveballs here, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, to give you some background on Bandit, he runs very good. He can definitely get his times down. If he can keep his traction, keep the car on track, he's going to be in really good shape. Sometimes I think there is an opportunity, and I think we all suffer from it. It's very difficult. Like I said, one of those keys to the race to be consistent through the entire race. You gotta run all 17 laps good. Not only good, but better than your opponent. So if he can do that, he will be in very good shape.
Sure, and I did not check the time of day, but it almost kind of looks kind of cloudy and foggy, and be curious to see if that has much effect on these sports tires.
Yep, it does. And here we are riding along with Bandit. So he is currently on his hot lap. And you'll see he's going to come around to this last turn here and head down the straight to put in our first qualifying time of the evening. And as you see right there, as he just passed the Joker section on the track, which is going to be really fun to watch these guys navigate. So for our first qualifying lap, we've got a 147.52 from Bandit. Lasted only for a second, where Josh and S2C have now put up 140.3 and 140.5 respectively. I think Fernando had a penalty on that one, so we're going to have to wait one more to see what his qualifying time is going to be, or at least where he's starting with his qualifying time.
With Nasty, he's a few seconds behind all of them, so I would say he had a problem through that first hot lap. But Bandit's up on his current qualifying time right now, so we'll see him at the next sector, see how much he's improved.
So we're jumping on board with Bandit. The yellow and black looks sharp, I will admit. Always love a good Corvette. Yeah, Bumblebee style. Transformers. Let us know in chat which livery you like the best. Whose is your favorite? Nice. He's got the 4D sponsorship there. Well done. Is that Alpha with S2C? And here comes Bandit around that final turn. He's going to be going uphill towards the start-finish line. See if he can improve on his 40.7. And this will be the last qualifying lap, as you see that pop up on the screen, their final lap. Bandit is able to improve with 140.091. Very nicely done.
Oh,
S2C in the 139s.
Right.
Wow, that's fast. Well done, S2C.
said, hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah, right? Comes Fernando. Trying to get himself up a little higher on the grid, and he looks like for right now he's going to stay there unless Nasty is able to hop, and he will not. So, looks like our grid is set for the first race. And
Yep.
C-Dubs, you want to run us through those times real quick?
Certainly, yeah. We got Esta there with that impressive sub 40 at 139.7. Bandit 140 flat. PSG Josh Moment with a 140, just 0.3 there behind Bandit. So pretty tight grouping there in the top three. BHR Fernando Button with 143.6, and Nasty sitting at a 149. I've got to believe. I raced with Nasty enough in lobbies. I got to believe he had an issue there in those couple laps, or just, what we talked about. Man, I'm so used to these racing tires, and here we are on the sport, ice tires, if you will. So it's got to be, he had to have had an issue on track.
Yeah, and I would agree. Probably something similar with Fernando. He's generally right up there with pace. So you would expect maybe he had some challenges navigating somewhere. Maybe he's not in the car that he prefers, right? Because they can only run whatever they're running in exhibition once. So maybe he took a vehicle that he's not planning on running and just feeling it out. So that's the beauty of the exhibition. Gives these guys a chance to get out there, kind of run what you brung and have some fun with it. This is all about fun. So for those of you guys out there who want to get in, we will have another exhibition before the final. You are welcome to join that. Feel free to jump in the lobby, whenever you get a chance. As Sal mentioned, you can find him at salamander_MN. Get yourself signed into the lobby there, and that way, once the second exhibition starts, you'll be ready to go. In the meantime, keep us up here on the stream so you can see how the first exhibition goes. 17 laps. These guys are going to put it down. They are required to make a pit stop. There are the two compounds. There are sports soft and sports mediums that are required. C-Dubs, what are you starting on? You starting on soft or medium?
Well, so I'm going to treat this like I would and say a daily in this situation. If I'm in the top three, I might start on softs just so I can get pulled away. If I'm, mid or back, maybe I start on the harder compound and just try to, be fast at the end, right, to close the gap. So looks like Sal's going to get this race going here in just about 45 seconds or so. So, we ended up with the, 2 4Cs, 2 RCZs, and the Corvette. And, just point out, the Corvette obviously held its own here. It was in P2 and only, not even 0.3 behind the 4C. So looks like we've got several viable options. Now we'll see, of course, once we start fuel burn and tire wear and all of that, which one's going to reign supreme. But a nice selection of cars here for sure.
It is. It's a very tough decision. I mean, personally, I'd have a tough time picking between the Corvette, the 4C, and the RCZ. I like all three of them quite a bit. The Mustang, I don't drive a whole lot. So, it's not a car that I'm terribly familiar with. Not that I'm an anti-Mustang kind of guy, but that unfortunately just ends up being the one that I generally skip over. So no offense to the Mustang fans out there, Mustang Chuck, if you're listening.
That's who I thought of.
They're still nice.
Yeah.
We know them. We love them. They're everywhere. So, and I think we're just about ready to get going here. We have a grid start. Our gentlemen are at the line. We're looking right down the line from Ecstasy. The lights are on. And it is time for these guys to get moving. Here we go. Ecstasy looks like he is going to shift over a little bit. And it looks like Bandit's going to jump into the lead, with Josh Moment right behind him as they come into this treacherous little turn one. And navigation through this first section of the track can be very important. Get yourself a good exit there on that turn for the straightaway. Josh Moment is pretty much just glued right there to Bandit. Looks like he's kind of peeking around a little bit to see if there's an opportunity to open door somewhere. C-Dubs, what do you think? Do you think Nasty's just kind of hanging back to see what's going to happen here?
I'm not sure. It may be that Nasty hasn't got much practice, but I expect him to get this down here pretty quick, and he should get back into this pack. I know that Estacy's not going to let these first two guys get away. He's starting to close the gap a little bit, it seems. So once he gets up there on those, it'll be fun. And, you know, we need to point out, too, to me, this track, you obviously got to keep control through that section we were talking about, but you have got to get out of that last turn good, because you've got to carry as much speed up that hill and along that straight. That's where we're going to see passes today, without a question.
Yeah, 100%. Here we go as they're coming into that section right here. You're going to see it's a heavy braking zone for that left-hand turn, and then up the hill. They did not seem to cut the track as much as I've seen some folks do, so looks like these guys are trying to keep their tires dry, and no problems there. They've all done a very good job navigating that. Now, they can't run their Joker lap on the first or the last laps. And C-Dubs, correct me if I'm wrong, they can't do it on a box lap either, right?
I believe that is correct, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And as we said, unlike our last one that had two Joker areas, we've got the one Joker area. Ooh, Estacy in trouble there.
Estacy
Certainly
with
lost
the
some
drift.
time. Yeah, he hung on to it, though. So not too much time lost, but definitely lost a half second to our leaders there. So just the one Joker for the 17 laps.
Yeah, and they can run it whenever they choose. They're, you know, like I said, there are some requirements. Can't do it on the first, last, or a box lap. You know, maybe watch it. If somebody's got a penalty, maybe that's the time to run the Joker lap. That might be a really good opportunity with the penalty line in that area. We're going to take another look here at this wonderful drift that he executes. That is class-act stuff there by SEC. Well done. Nice and smooth recovery. A little bit in the grass, I think, which is what sent him adrift, but really smooth to recover and keep himself in the mix here. So there's Bandit. He's putting a little bit of a gap in. Go ahead, C-Dubs.
No, I was just going to say I'm fairly confident I would have spun. So Esta did a fabulous job hanging on to that car, again, on sport tires, right? So a little slicker.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I personally work on. My recovery is not great. So, and you see Fernando has ended up with a halfer, got himself potentially a track limit penalty. And as we stand right now, Bandit with a 1.3 second gap over Josh Moment. And as you notice, Bandit did start on the softs. Let's see if we can take a look at if anybody's on medium compounds. Moment on the soft for STC. Soft.
Just nasty. Just nasty.
Just nasty. Okay. Well, that would explain why he's a little bit back to the rear. But again, we all know he's got the skill to get himself back into the mix. So watch the tire wear through this one. As you see, these guys are again on an 8 times tire wear for this situation. On our third lap, riding on board with Josh Moment, who is gone purple through that section there.
Eston is all over Josh Moment right now. I would expect him to try to pull a move through this next twisty section. Oh, going for the switcheroo.
Yeah, he's going to look inside. Let's see. He's got himself next door. I don't know if he can quite get it done. And it's going to put Josh on the inside for this left-hand turn. There you go. STC is pointing that nose up into the inside of Josh Moment's car to try and get himself a little move. Oh, a little slippery. I don't know. That 4C might be a little bit unstable depending upon how you're getting it into and out of those turns. And C-Dubs, like you mentioned, that is a crucial turn right there. These guys are going to have to make sure and get right. Got to get the exit speed going correctly.
Oh, you can lose over a second on that one stretch right there if you do not get a good exit on that last turn. Easily.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than taking that turn and watching the guy in front of you go uphill just drive away. And it happens so quickly.
Esta dives to the inside. That was tight. He had to back off a little bit, though. He thought it a little dangerous. Smart racing there by Esta.
Yeah, it's early in the race, and, I think we all know STC has a very good racing IQ. He does not want to jeopardize the race too early, so it looks like he's doing everything he can to just keep himself in the mix right now. He's certainly reminding Josh Moment of his presence.
And Fernando's picked up a 1.5-second penalty, so this is really going to hurt Fernando being 10 seconds back from STC right now.
Yeah, and he's got Nasty behind him, who is on a different compound. So, you know, that's a tough hill for him to climb, especially with the likes of a Bandit, a Josh Moment, and an Ecstasy that you're trying to catch up with, all very skilled drivers.
Yeah, I would expect Nasty's going to be able to close this gap on Fernando here once he serves this penalty.
And taking a look back with our leader here with Bandit, as he's going to come through this last left-hand turn and head up the hill. I'm waiting to see when we're going to start seeing some of our Joker laps run, being 4 laps in. I would imagine you're going to see some of these guys putting them down soon, but hard to say. I see the Joker icon up there. Did we have a Joker lap that I didn't catch? Oh, and we Ecstasy, who has got his Joker lap out of the way. So for those of you guys scoring at home, mark your Joker laps. And there you have Nasty, who is just about 2 seconds back behind Fernando. And he is trying to hunt him down. Back up to the front with Bandit, who's got just about a 2.5 second gap between him and Josh Moment.
I want to give a quick shout out to K-Dub, who has joined the stream, one of my Dub brothers, who, because of work, is not going to be able to race with us as much, but we love brother K-Dub. So thanks for popping in. VKG is now on the stream. Thanks for popping in, VKG.
VKG.
That's right, VKG's in the house.
Speaking of VKG, did you catch his recent interview? Was it Master P's son, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. How cool. How cool that must have been. Well done on that, by the way,
VKG, he's going viral, but he's not forgetting us little people down here. We appreciate that, VKG.
No, that's the coolest thing. I mean, you know, when I first saw it, it's like, wow, this guy's got to interview Papa. And it's like, the more I dove into it, that was his first interview, so he knows what he's doing. He's got it down pat there. Taking a look at Bandit here, who is trying to increase that gap a little bit over Josh Moment, and he's got his work cut out for him. We all know Josh Moment has got the skill. Josh can be quick. There we have a Joker lap with Josh Moment. That will give Bandit a little bit of breathing room for the moment. See what I did there? No? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So I was looking through. Sorry. So I was actually looking through the tire wear and the fuel and seeing what the differences are, and I found it really interesting that you literally cannot see a difference in fuel between Bandit and SC and P1 and P2.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, Bandit's wearing his tires a lot quicker in that vet though, so that may be, here we are. We've got 2.5 laps away from being halfway point, and he's already got that front right soft close to 50% gone. So that might be a factor for Mr. Bandit here shortly.
That is an interesting challenge. I know, tire wear is one of those things. You see the guys who are really good with it, they stretch tires out farther than, you'd ever expect some folks to do. We've seen that in some of the BHG World Series. We've seen it in NRL. And it looks like maybe we might see that here with Ecstasy and Josh Moment. Then you got the amateur drivers like me. I love to rip tires. That's the fun part of it.
Grip it and rip it.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's certainly something I was 100% missing from my trick bag, if you will. And I got to give mad shout out to PhD Rowdy. Rowdy he's quite the technician when he wants to be. So he spent some time with me at Daytona the other day and showed me how to stretch the fuel and the tires on the Ferrari 458. And wow, he showed me some things I had no clue. So prior to that, though, that was my theory. Okay, just hammer down and go, and we'll get fuel and tires as we need it. But man, some of these, higher strategy races, that's not going to work. It's fun, but it's not going to work.
And C-Dubs, you know me, I love the deep strategy races. Those are my favorite. You give me an opportunity and maybe I can outsmart somebody. That's probably my best chance to win a race. So it's tough for me to outdrive a lot of these guys. So I gotta find a catch. What do we got?
Ecstasy with a 2-second penalty. That is going to hurt.
That is not great. Now keep in mind, Bandit has not run his Joker lap yet. So he is got a fairly good gap over Ecstasy right now. Let's see if we can see what happens. Here is Ecstasy. Oh, and he cut that pretty close there. So that is, wow, A 2-second, that's a fairly egregious penalty.
Yeah, Josh Moment's gonna. Well, he might overtake him before the penalty occurs here, but he's all over him right now.
Let's see how this ends up playing out. Josh is still behind him for now. It looks like he's going to drive up next to him through here. Nope, still back. Still back.
VKG
He's trying to
with
bide
it.
his
Nah.
time. Well done. God, I used to love some Master P in the back in the day, man. Holy cow. All right. There we got Josh Moment, and he still has not got by Ecstasy. Estacy's going to go ahead and serve that penalty now, and there goes Josh. Josh did a very good job trying to get through, but Ecstasy, man, he made that thing wide for a little bit. Made it tricky for Josh to get by up until he served that penalty. So here we are, 7 laps in. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if we could take a look at Bandit real quick. Let's take a look at that front right tire.
As Fernando runs that Joker lap, we took
nice
a
job, Fernando.
stay with that. So there's
Yep.
Bandit. Look at that front right. That's every bit of 60% gone.
Yeah, so I would expect Bandit's going to be hitting here very shortly. I don't know enough about these. Again, this is a T-Case question and T-Case lobby question. I don't know enough about the differences between this sports soft and medium. I don't know if it's about the same difference as the racing soft for mediums, but you know, obviously they're going to be slower. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here when he has to get a pit in.
Yeah, and you see Ecstasy, who has gone into the pit, so he went ahead and swapped out the tire compounds, got that out of the way. Jumping back on board with Bandit. Nearing the last section of the track here. And let's see if he is going to get his Joker lap out of the way now or continue to just put the pedal down.
And I don't know about you, SlowMoe, if I'm in that pit window, you know, even if it's early in the pit window, and maybe I didn't want to pit, but if I got a penalty or a couple mental stressors, I'm going into the pit, taking a deep breath, having that woo-saw moment, and going back out there and trying to focus. I'll sometimes use that, you know, pit as just a reset. Just hit the reset button, get my head back on my shoulders, let's go.
Yeah, you know, see, that's a really great approach, and maybe something a lot of us could take note of. It can be easy to get frustrated out there on track, and you know, keeping that cool head is extremely important when you're trying to navigate a vehicle doing 100 plus miles an hour.
I look at it a little bit like golf. I made this analogy yesterday. You know, the great golfers, they'll have a bad hole, they leave that one behind them, they forget about it. Same thing with racing. If you have a bad lap, you've got to let it go. If you got into traffic, whatever the case is, you got a pin, you've got to clear that from your brain and just move on. And I'll totally be honest with you and transparent and say I struggle with that. I used to golf a lot. I don't anymore because it became the most frustrating thing in my life. And so, but yeah, you've got to let that last one go.
No, that's a great analogy. I mean, you know, you're running 17 laps. One bad one does not define your race. Same thing with golf. You play 18 holes. You know, some of us hit 100 shots out there, so one shot can't be the definitive answer of how your day went.
It's always in front of a crowd, too, when I'm going to have that really bad drive.
The guys pull up behind you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, jumping back on board with our leader, as you can see, he's got a fairly decent gap over Josh. He has not run his Joker lap yet. We're 9 laps into the 17-lap exhibition. Bandit coming down the straight. Does not execute the Joker yet. So there is Josh Moment, who's trying to hunt him down. Josh has got some room between him and the next competitor in Fernando. So it looks like this may be between Josh and Bandit at the moment, depending upon what happens.
And I thought sure Bandit would dive into the pits there, but nope, he's going to let those tires roll for one more lap at least here.
Bandit's pushing him while Josh has gone in. So let's see if this works for an undercut opportunity for Josh, as well as, you know, Fernando, Nasty, and Ecstasy. I think they've all also made their pits.
And hopefully Bandit hasn't forgotten about a Joker lap. I mean, it is the Joker series after all.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he knows. Like I said, I know he was doing practice for it. Whether he practiced the Joker lap or not, I know he practiced the track car combo. And you see Ecstasy, who's trying to hunt down Nasty at this point, within a second. So he's closing the gap ever so slightly.
Yeah, so Fernando's yet to pit, and Nasty has yet to pit. So, you know, Esta's going to definitely get some positions back once that occurs.
And look at those tires, boy. Bandit is running them bald today.
He said, I don't need no stinking tires. I've got nice
Yeah.
rims on this here, but
His Dunlop dealer is chewing on his nails right now. Come on in and buy some, buddy. Come on. Come on. You know you want to. And again, so 10th lap, no Joker laps for Bandit just yet. So I wonder if he's waiting for the medium compounds
and
to
he
run that
just
Joker lap.
passed the pits again.
He's staying out.
He's staying out. Oh, it's going to get...
He's going to have no tread left.
It's going to get messy. And you know, that left tire is pretty important here at Interlagos. I mean, there's
It
certain
is.
tires you could almost, okay, left not that big. Yeah, this one here, I'd be shocked if he makes this around this track without completely losing that front left.
No, you're absolutely right. There is too much both directions to have a tire that's just not going to have any traction. Man, I do not envy Bandit at this point in time. He is in the lead, but that could be something. As you see, Ecstasy has gotten around Nasty, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw Nasty. Oh, I thought he was diving into the pit, and it looks like he is. I think he had some type of issue. I don't know if we're going to be able to get back and see that. Here we go with a little bit of replay. And Nasty is turning towards the pit.
Well, I mean, style
That
points for
seems
pit
kinda
entry.
Strange, yeah.
I mean, a nice
That's
little
tricky.
360 into the pits. That's got to be worth an extra point in the Joker Series, I would think.
So here we go, back on board with Bandit, who's coming up to the final left-hand turn. That's going to send him up the hill.
He has the turn
Will
signal
he-
on here, so he is going to hit
Okay.
the Joker.
So here you go with a Joker lap for Bandit. Getting it done there.
And surely into the pits. Thank
Straight
you,
into
Bandit.
the pits, yeah.
You had me nervous, buddy. You had
There
me
it goes.
nervous.
Okay, look at that. Look at that front right. It is El Gono. As you can tell, my Spanish is quite strong.
It is good. It's as good as mine or better.
All right, let's see if Fernando can slide by and take the provisional lead until he pits. It doesn't look like he is going to be able to do that. Let's see how this plays out. Bandit has not started refilling yet, so it is quite possible. I'm a little surprised Fernando's not dipping into the pits. Oh, nope, he absolutely is. Almost had an issue as well. That pit entrance looks like it can be a bit tricky. Oh, and I bet you Bandit is gritting his teeth trying to get out in front of these guys right now as you see them coming down the straightaway through the first and second turns. And this is going to be an exciting exit. Bandit is just able to maintain that lead.
Wow.
Whoa,
Is he,
nice
though?
move
Is
by
he,
Moment
though?
to take the inside. That was smooth. Well done, Josh.
I think that's a good sign that Bandit may have waited one, if not two laps too long to go into the pits. He just could not push that car as hard as he would have
And we've
liked.
got
on
another
those
lead
worn-out
change.
softs.
As you see, Bandit sneaks his way back in front of Josh Moment.
And then Esta, look at Esta picked up another big penalty.
Oh, no.
Esta is just, he is, got a problem up there. Now, luckily it's the exhibition. We're not going to have to get stewards involved, but there was a little bump between Josh Moment and Bandit there.
Yeah, it looked like Josh Moment almost locked him up and kind of slowed down to get away. Let's see if we can take a look at what happens here. So here's Josh Moment. We're kind of in that swooping right-hand turn. Little bump. Oh, I think he was just really letting Bandit get that position back. Maybe. Sorry about the bump, buddy. The fair play to you, Josh. Well done.
And that probably just boils down to the different braking points for different cars. You know, that smaller car can hit the brakes a little bit later, a little lighter. Whereas Bandit, has to get on it a little bit earlier. That's really known for its pull-away speed on the longer straights. That's its huge advantage.
It doesn't look like Josh is having any trouble with the pull-away speed at this point, as you see those guys just right with each other down the front straight. Here they go into turns 1, 2. And we've got ourselves quite the battle between Bandit and Josh Moment. This is turning out to be an exciting little duel between these two.
Yeah, even with the penalties, Esta's only 3.5 behind Josh Moment, which is not a huge gap at this track, especially with 5 laps or almost 5 laps remaining. So this could still become a pretty easy 3-car battle. Now, there is a 30-second gap right now between P3 and P4, so I'm not sure Fernando and Nasty are going to be contenders at the end of this one unless something crazy happens. Uh-oh.
Yep, speaking of crazy, it looks like Bandit has somehow lost the lead and acquired a 1.5-second penalty. I did not quite see exactly what happened. It definitely sounds like a track limit, in my opinion.
Or a couple of them.
Maybe a left and then a right. I'm not sure. So that will definitely give Josh Moment a little bit of breathing room.
And it's going to let Esta right on Bandit's heels.
If not giving Estes an opportunity to pass Bandit on that straight, we're going to have to see how that plays out.
Oh, no, and there goes Bandit.
Oh, that's treacherous.
Bandit just...
That uphill section, man. You said it. You can lose a lot of time there. Here, we'll take another look at what happened. You'll see Bandit's going to come into this turn. Here's this left-hand turn, and they're going to go uphill.
It's on the throttle. Little hard here, touching that grass into the infield.
Yep, grass on both sides, and that's trouble. He did a good job getting back on track and making a recovery, but he loses a spot for Ecstasy, so he's down in 3rd. Looks like he's got a little bit of room between him and Fernando, so should be able to maintain that P3 for the moment.
Yeah, he's 11 seconds back from the leader. Estacy's closing that gap ever so slowly. He's got that gap down to 3 seconds right now. He's kind of cruising between 3 and 3.5 seconds. So we'll see. Esta, obviously, he knows this track. He was our pole sitter, so he should close the gap a touch here.
And we've got a little battle here with Nasty and Fernando as they go door to door into that little left-hand turn section down the back straight.
Shaggy, welcome into the stream. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Shaggy Doo, a.k.a. the Rainmaker. How you doing, Shaggy?
Yeah, and speaking of, is anybody shocked that he said he really wishes we could get rain here? I mean, who didn't see that coming from Shaggy?
Shaggy wants rain at every track,
Right, yeah. I want some heavy fog and just an absolute downpour.
That's right. Back on board with our leader, here's Josh Moment, who's got a 3.5-second gap between him and P2, who is PHG Ecstasy. Bandit currently in 3rd, Nasty in 4th, and BHR Fernando currently sitting in P5.
Yep, maintaining that gap here with 3 to go.
And we'll keep a close eye here on Nasty, who I don't believe is going to be able to catch Bandit in 3 laps, but him and Fernando are not too terribly far away. Anything happens to Nasty, I'm sure Fernando will be happy to step up and take that P4 away.
Fuel and tires are looking good all across the board. That's not going to be a concern from here on out.
Here is our current leader.
And Esta has closed that gap ever so slightly. Although with this track, it's kind of odd. It jumps around pretty quick.
It does. Depending upon what section you're in, and that can change quite quickly depending upon the pace you're keeping up. So you've got Josh Moment, who's doing a very good job maintaining his lead at this point. You'll see that delta there between him and Estes kind of fluctuate as they go through these little switchback section. Here's Josh on the sharper right-hand turn. Taking down in the little boxy section. Setting up for that final left-hand turn and the uphill getaway to the to the start-finish. And as you see, STC's got that gap down to about 3 seconds. So he's gained 3 or 4 tenths on our leader. And for those of you guys who are familiar with Josh, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
He does not. And recently just come over to PHG, so welcome PHG Josh Moment. He's definitely a great addition to the team.
He was he a BHR guy before?
He was, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they
dissolved his partnership there or what.
I'm not sure. I know a lot of guys will run for both teams. And BHR, PHG as a whole is pretty tight with that group of guys. So I'm sure there's no issues. It is what it is.
There you have Bandit, who we saw lead quite a few laps of this race. He had an unfortunate incident in one lap that set him back a little bit, but he is doing a very good job maintaining his P3 for the moment.
That's got to be hard for Esta.
Gap.
Yeah, if you're Esta, man, it's like, okay, I know I'm getting closer, but I've only got a lap and a half or whatever it is left to go. You just, when I'm in that spot, I'm literally moving in my sim rig. I'm like trying to get that car to move a little faster. I'm bouncing back and forth. But
and C-Dubs to that point, he's got that gap down below the 3 second mark. So 2.7 between him and Josh Moment.
Yeah, right about now, Esta's, he'd like to have one or two of those pins back. You know what I mean? That's
right.
Made the difference in this race entirely.
Well, unfortunately, this is only the exhibition, so the prizes are not won or lost on this particular race. It's really somewhat of a warm-up for some of these guys. We're going to take another look here, and this is Fernando. He's coming around this left-hand turn. Oh, he gets onto the AstroTurf, and that is never a good thing. Very difficult to maintain your grip when you touch that turf. Fernando doing a little rally cross action there. Get himself back in line.
Also want to welcome McNaughty. McNaughty's in the stream. Papa is in the stream.
McNaughty.
Warhawk. Yeah, thanks, guys.
So here is Ecstasy, who has done a very good job closing the gap between him and Josh Moment, but it does not look like he's going to have time.
Oh, and Esta with a 3-second penalty.
See if we can take another look at what happens here. He's coming around this left-hand turn and just couldn't quite keep it in the lines.
Man, that's a hefty.
That didn't seem like a 3-second penalty when we saw it, did it? Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah, the pins are set to strong. So yeah, there's going to be maximum penalties. I completely forgot to mention that.
That's pretty rough. Okay. Well, I don't know that is going to give Bandit an opportunity to close a 8.8 second gap between him and Ecstasy. Hopefully Ecstasy is able to maintain that. E2 and get himself across the line unscathed without losing any positions. Here is our leader who's coming around the final turn up the hill towards the start-finish line. We're going to see Josh Moment, who is going to secure the victory in our first of 2 exhibition races tonight with the SJS Joker Series. Well done, Josh Moment. Congratulations to you, sir, on your first exhibition win. Bravo. Here comes Ecstasy around the corner for his P2. Bandit not too terribly far behind to secure the final podium position. It looks like Nasty is going to be able to secure P4. And that will leave Fernando B in P5 for our first exhibition of 2. So for those of you guys watching, sitting back, enjoying this, jump into the lobby. Feel free to get in here, get yourself an exhibition race. If you're not signed up for the finals, you would have had to have done that prior to be able to be in the prize round. But if you wanted to get into the next exhibition, you are more than welcome to hop in the lobby and join us.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you've got to be signed up for this the Friday before, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when the registration closes for these, just so Sal can get a accurate count on who's expected to be in the prize splits.
Sal, save the replay. Josh Moment winning our first of 2 exhibitions. Well done. Congratulations. Round of applause for Josh Moman. I see we've got some folks that are in the lobby there. Looks like TK's, a couple other people who are ready to go. C-Dubs, you want to read us through the results there?
Certainly. Josh Moment, of course, with that P1 with a total time of 29:33, his best lap of 140. Esta right behind him. 7-second gap. Esta's race could be summed up with one word: penalties. That Esta, I felt like, could have won that race. He had 2, 4, 7, at least 7 seconds worth of penalties. So Bandit right on his heels. Bandit, he's the contender. Just a couple bad areas there we got in trouble. Nasty right there. Fernando Button wrapping us up there at P5.
Yeah, well done to all the drivers there in our first of 2 exhibitions. We'll have another one coming up very shortly. So, yeah, before we go anywhere, I want to take a pause here. We want to talk about our driver of the race, right? So, C-Dubs, for me, it's fairly simple. I know you don't always want to go with the winner, but I think Josh Moman did a fantastic job maintaining his composure, keeping himself out of trouble. Consistency, like I said, one of those keys you saw executed there from Josh Moman. So that would be my choice for the driver of the race. What's your choice, C-Dubs?
Yeah, I'll go with Esta. It's easy to get frustrated with a couple penalties, but he kept his head in the game and pushed on through and still ended up with that P2. So congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the chat. I think there will be a poll that Sal will put up for you guys for the driver of the race. Let us know who you guys prefer, what your choices are. And if you've got a minute, join the lobby, get in there and get ready for our next one. We are going to take ourselves a brief little pause here, and we will be back in just a few moments for the second of 2 exhibitions before we get to our final race.
Chester lead, let the chaos bleed. Cut across the edge where madness fades. Let the Joker, let me break the map. Wildcard racer in a technicolor trap. Spin that grin, let the rubber burn black. Who needs rules when the tricks bring back? Roll the die, shift the track. I'm back. Shortcut mind in a midnight mask. Flick up the wrist, twist up the cap. I win dirty, call it Joker lap. Chrome bells hang from the rear view mirror. Every move I make cuts close to fear. Nutrient code, chaotic in soul. I bend each checkpoint into a black hole. No good, no evil, just the thrill. Clown crown bound by my own free
fire, a curve with no end. Did he win? Did he fall? Did the race collapse? No one knows. Past the Joker lap, fought back to bend, I beat the trap. Text my mind in a synapse snap. Loop my lane in a twisted map. Burn through time on the Joker lap. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. The Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, yeah. Burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down.
And welcome back to the SJS Joker series. We just got to our first exhibition race completed. Looks like the results are in. I think Josh Moment was selected by the audience. So thank you all for voting and participating in that. Congratulations to Josh on your victory there in our first exhibition. C-Dubs, you want to tell the viewers a little bit about our awesome sponsor with 4D Racewear?
Yeah, absolutely. 4D is the makers of ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racers or sim racing. For sim racing, I can't talk tonight. For sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet.
Thank you so much, 4D, for making this exciting with some of those prizes for our drivers to compete against for tonight. Before we get into our next exhibition race, let's take one more kind of look and refresh all of our viewers' memories on what the round info is going to be. So the drivers are going to run 17 laps here with one Joker lap. Their tire wear is going to be set to 8 times. They're going to have to run the sports mediums and the sports soft. They can run some of the other compounds if they so choose. I don't think anybody is going to do that. With it being 17 laps, it's probably just about right for one stop. Drivers do have to take fuel. You'll see the refuel rate there at 3 liters a second. The fuel burn is at 2 times. They've got the 4 cars there to choose from, the 4C, the Corvette, the Altezza, the RCZ, and of course the Mustang. So we have not seen anybody use a Mustang just yet. I don't know if they're worried it's going to rust before the race ends or what's going on there, but nobody has chosen that one. So maybe we'll get that in our next exhibition here. I know we've got a few additional drivers that we're going to see in the next split. So C-Dubs, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see anything different? The drivers can't use the same cars they used in the previous, so we know we're going to see a little bit of a mix-up here.
Yeah, so I'm cheating, SlowMoe. I have an advantage over you. So I already know what cars, and we do, in fact, have a Mustang in this next round. So also, Bandit, if you're listening and you're going to participate, make sure you ready up. You're in the lobby, but not readied up. So if you're listening, make sure you ready up so Sal can get this qualifier going.
C-Dubs, you're in the lobby. How many do we have set up for our next exhibition here?
We have 6, unless Bandit readies up, and then he'll be our 7th. Looks like Josh Moment's in the 4C, Esta's in the RCZ, Schlick. Now that's just what I'm always going to call him from here on out. Schlick is in the Mustang. T Case is joining us for this one, and his cool orange and light blue livery. in the Corvette there. VIP Rowdy Burns is in for this round, and BHR Fernando Button will be joining us. So that's our racers. And looks like Bandit said he's going to just hang out in the lobby. He's waiting for the main event. So we've got the gang that's going to start this exhibition set now.
Okay, Bandit maybe just taking a little breather there, get his mind right, and get ready for that final race to try and get himself some of that coveted 4D racewear that we will be giving away to our podium finishers tonight. Very cool gear. I've seen a couple of the guys that have gotten some of their stuff and been showing their pictures off on the socials. And 4D racewear is nice. Now, C-Dubs, do you have any 4D yet?
So I do. I actually have a couple of pieces of 4D gear, but I've chosen not to wear them just because I think they look cool and I wanted it in my background. So literally right here are my gloves, which I probably should move those off of the Papa's flag, and then the shirt is hanging up right over here on the wall. So it's
very nice.
They're very, very high quality.
Very nice. Yeah, 4D's got good stuff. I was looking through the website and checking out some of that, trying to figure out exactly what I want to go ahead and get first. And I haven't made that decision yet. So tell me in the chat what I should be buying first. Is it the shirt, the gloves? I've got shoes, so that's not something I'm looking for. But we'll have to see what I'm going to make that first purchase of. Make sure and stop by their website, check them out, show them some love. Tell them we sent you. Tell them you saw them either on the PHG World Series or here on the SJS Joker Series. So I think we're just about ready for the drivers to get out onto track for the qualifying session here on our second exhibition of two. Second of two, I should say. And we're going to ride along board with Fernando B for the first out lap here just a little bit. You'll see there is Josh Moment, S to C, P Case, as C-Dub had mentioned.
And I'll say that, Papa is in the chat, and if you're real nice to Papa, he might even share a discount code with you for the 4D. And then Sal also has a discount code that he'll be placing in the chat. So actually, Papa, you can't give yours out right now. Sal's going to use his in his stream. So how about that?
Sal gets to use those. All right, very nice. Very nice. I will take full advantage of a discount code. I love a good discount.
Yep, it's going to be Salamander 10X for 10% off of your entire order.
Sweet. All right. Well, we're going to ride along board with Josh Moment for just a moment, if you will. He's going to come across the start finish and start off his first hot lap on our second exhibition race. So these guys are gearing up for the final race, which will be next. And that next race is the one where the 4D racewear is going to be awarded to our podium finishers.
So just real
quick.
Good
looking livery as he's got there. Classy, clean.
Yeah, so while we're here on TK, I always love right there what he does to the back of the car, where he puts the tail lights as the eyes of his caricature there. That's so cool.
Yeah, that sticker is classic. TK sent me a couple of those. TK, so if you're listening, I still need to get one put up and hidden into the Hankies environment. That will happen. It just hasn't yet. So there is Slick. That's a good-looking livery on that Mustang. See if he can keep that Mustang together through the 17 laps they've got. And there is Mr. Rowdy Burns running that classic VIP livery. Rowdy has his turn signal.
Yeah, Rowdy, turn your signal off if you are listening.
I have seen that VIP livery many, many a times there from Rowdy. So we've got the drivers just now coming around this into the last portion here to start off our hot laps. And we will see kind of where these guys are going to fall as they cross the start finish for the first time through the qualifying session. They really, C-Dubs, would they really only get 2 hot laps on that last session, I think?
I think that's right. Yeah, I believe they just got two laps.
Yeah, about a minute 40 a lap and 5-minute quality, that sounds about right. So here's Josh Moment. Let's see what he is going to put up for the first qualifying. And that's sub 140, so 139 to 11. Case with a 1490.
Right
Fernando's going to put up a 142.0. Slick jumping up a little bit with a 143. got Mr. Rowdy Burns who's going to put his name in the mix there in P3 right now with a 140.961. And let's see what Ecstasy is going to put up. Nothing yet, actually. I guess he is just now on his hot. Yep, that was his hot lap. He is still working on his first hot lap. Rowdy's still going right.
It's a continual right turn.
It's a long right-hand turn.
Oh, Fernando's got a penalty, so he's gonna mess this hot lap up.
And like we talked about, you don't get too many opportunities here. He's adding to it a little bit, so it's a 1.5 now for Fernando. He's probably going to be letting slick by him if I had to guess. But that Mustang sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
It's got a really nice growl to it. Fernando kind of making that Corvette wide there on the qualifying, so he is not letting slick by him.
Josh Moment coming up on the line here for his next hot lap. He's not going to improve.
39.7, still very respectable time here. And Fernando has pulled off.
Yeah, his 139.2 is faster. It's faster than the fastest of the last race.
It was, and as you saw there, it looked like Fernando got a little bit of help to get out of Slick's way, and he has reset himself into the pits. So Fernando's likely going to be starting off in P5 unless SC is able to move himself up ahead, which he does up into P2 with a 140.138. So we've got one lap under the 40s, and it looks like pretty much everybody else is 140 or higher.
Yep, and Rowdy had a nice improvement there too. He's up to 140.9, so nice improvement over his first lap.
PK's coming across with some style points. And I believe that wraps up our qualifying session here for our second of 2 exhibition races before we get into the final.
Great job, guys. Josh Moment, 139.2. That's definitely impressive. Go over all
that's
the
a heater
results here in just a second. He must have learned a little something in that first race.
Or this is the car that he wants for the final, right? Like, maybe he wasn't showing all his secrets in the first race.
Yep, and just to reiterate, even though they have to be different in the exhibitions, they can go back and go with their favorite in the prize split.
Right. All right, and that wraps it up. So let's take a look at the results. C-Dubs, you want to talk us through those times, please?
Absolutely. Josh Moment with a heater, 139.2. SSC's right there with the 140.1. Schlick. See, everybody's getting their draws out on their names. And speaking of, I forgot to mention a while ago in the chat was Horn of Plenty. CT Case, I did it. So Schlick in P3. VIP Rowdy Burns in P4. T-Case in P5. T-Case, come on, man. And then Fernando Button in P6. So, which again surprises me because T-Case and Fernando are running these tires all the time. They're running these road cars. Come on, guys.
Yeah, T-Case this is like his home turf with the sports
right?
tires, and he's got the Corvette that he already had that livery ready to go. That car's been sitting in the garage waiting for him to get in it. So he's got a little bit of work to do to catch up with some of the folks up front. Do you think Josh is going to run away with this one, or do you think anybody can get out ahead of him?
I think this is going to come down to penalties, right? I think that's what we learned in the first race. Now, the guys that were in the last race, obviously they're thinking heavy about that, and they're going to give themselves a little more margin. But a few of the newcomers, if they didn't watch the first one, we're going to see some penalties. But I truly think Josh Moment, Esta, and Schlick they'll all be right there.
Yeah, and as you saw those penalties, they're a bit rough. If you have a track limit penalty, sometimes you think, oh, that maybe be a 1. It's a 3 in this scenario because they are turned all the way up. They're as ruthless as they get. So that setting is set to terrible, if you will.
Yeah, I think Sal was having a bad day when he set this race up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll show them."
Oh yeah, yeah. You want a penalty? I got a penalty for you here.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. We're checking to see Leo has joined the lobby. It looks like Sal's going to try to let him in if he responds. Leo, if you are listening and want in,
Leo!
Sal is trying to give you the opportunity. He'll reset the grid, get you in there if you so choose.
I hope we can get Leo in there. Always love watching him run.
Yep. So Leo's wanting in. Sal's going to get this squared away, and we're going to have Leo Las Vegas joining us.
He will not be. Well, I guess. You know, he's certainly not going to be in the Mazda. But,
That's right.
You know,
That's not happening. That's not happening. All right. Let's see. He's going to ready up here in just a second.
Okay. Let's see what he's going to pick. What's your
on,
bet?
Leo.
What do you think he's taking? The vet?
RCZ. I say.
Oh,
You know
you
what? Leo will he'll do the vet. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's still not readied up. So Sal just got the lobby reset so that he could. So he still has not readied up. We'll
Anxiously
see.
waiting.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Leo.
Let's see what he gets. Come on.
And
What are you picking, Leo?
Oh, he had to make a new change to the room, so everybody's got to ready up again.
Okay. We're waiting with bated breath to see
That's right.
what vehicle Leo will be driving today.
That's right. Rowdy needs you to ready up. Leo, ready up.
I'm sorry,
Rowdy's
he's resetting that lobby.
in.
So,
Yep.
there goes Rowdy. Okay.
Come on, Leo. Looks like we're going to have 8 drivers in this exhibition. I'll quickly give the rundown of those that's readied up. Leo in the Corvette.
Corvette. Okay. That was my guess.
Oh, wait. Now, Vetterdan's wanting to sneak in here, Sal, if you can hear me. I don't know. Okay, Vetterdan's in.
We know what he's driving.
No. Oh, yes.
No?
Yes, of course. Yes, he's in. So we got 8 drivers.
Vetterdan.
Yeah, shocking that he's in a vet. So we actually have several Corvettes. So I'll wait just a second till Sal goes over that screen. But we do have 4 Corvettes this round.
Okay. I think the Corvette's a great choice for this track. You know, we obviously saw Bandit do very well with it in the first race until he had that incident penalty and then a little bit of lost traction and put himself into the grass over there. But other than that, he did a very good job with that Corvette in the first run.
Yeah, he just, you know, I think come price split, he might pit just maybe a lap possibly too earlier than he did in the exhibition there.
I would agree, you know, and you know, and you got to, hey, my key to the race, you got to keep that consistency in place. Otherwise, that's what's going to happen. So
I'm laughing because I'm watching the chatter in the lobby, and Leo's like, "Wait, there's tuning." Yeah. He said, whatever. He said, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sending it. Yeah.
Run what you brung, buddy.
That's
It'll
right,
be
Leo.
good.
Just get in there and give her hell.
Just show the skill. You got it. Well, it looks like we are shaping up to have a very exciting second exhibition here before we get into our final split. While we're waiting, let's do one more shout out to 4D Racewear. Thank you guys so much for all the sponsorship. Here we go. We got the cars lined up. The grid is set. Josh Moment will lead off the pack here at the start finish. Lights are out. Anything but slow. Here we go. And it looks like Ecstasy had a very good start. Is able to drive by Josh Moment right off the start. Josh Moment's going to try and tuck himself back in. He's under pressure from a bunch of people. You see some folks run wide there.
Yeah,
so that's going to be some penalty.
Unless they got bumped off, and then they'll give them love. They won't give them
true.
the pin. But oh wow, side by side.
Yeah, so here you go. The Peugeot and the Alpha running side by side. And Esta's going to have his hands full there trying to get by Josh Moment. We saw Josh has got some very good pace here with his qualifying time in that.
And
vehicle there.
T-Case has already got a penalty, and he got a little squirrely just a second ago. So having a rough start here for Mr. T-Case.
Looks like Leo got himself a halfer as well.
Didn't even know you could get a half-second penalty here.
Yeah, I know. We saw a couple in the first one, but it's not very common. Let's take a look here at the beginning. We're riding on board with Leo, and yeah, just a little bit wide through the first one, and you know, to get a half second for that was probably pretty generous for him. Then you saw, I didn't catch who that was. Somebody was sliding around a little bit too, but looked like they were able to get it together and save what was going on there. It looks like Josh Moment is starting to gap Estes just a little bit. He's got a 2-second gap between him. Taking a peek at Rowdy Burns, who is trying to get away from Slick, or trying to hold off Slick, if you will. Slick and that Mustang is right there. And we all know that Mustang's got some power. Rowdy's going to tell him to go around right side and let him on by. And Slick takes full opportunity of that.
I will tell you that Josh went with my plan in theory here. Josh did go on to softs, and then Estes on mediums, Slick's on mediums, Rowdy's on mediums. Let's see, our next one, Leo's on softs, Dan's on mediums, and Fernando's on buttons, or Fernando Buttons on mediums. So just
Fernando's on buttons.
Yeah, he's on buttons. I feel like I'm driving on buttons on this track on sport tires for sure.
On sports, yeah, no doubt. And there you go, Leo and T-Case, two co-commentators who are currently giving each other some trouble on track.
I gotta believe that anything that happens between these two is going to be intentional and all in fun, especially for the exhibition.
Well, it looks like we see Fernando had a little bit of trouble. Let's see if we can see what happened.
Yeah, he went wide.
Some traction a little bit there, yeah.
And oddly, he only got a 1 second whenever Estes got a 3 second for the same.
Yeah, Estes had a 3
runoff.
for almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And in almost the exact same place, too. So it looks like Josh is starting to widen the lead ever so slightly. Through 2 laps, he is almost 5 seconds ahead of the next driver in Estes, as we see running down through the grid here.
I just heard some chatter, SlowMoe. I think PHE Josh Moment's pit crew reached out to Estes pit crew and asked if they wanted to go to dinner at Gapplebee's later on.
Is that what's going on? Yikes. Anybody want a stopwatch? Italian. All right, taking a look at this battle between Leo and T-Case. There has been no change of positions, but I promise you there's been some paint traded. Looks like Leo's trying to find himself some room. They're going to go door to door down the straight here. Leo does have the inside line in his next left-hand turn. See if he's going to back out a little bit and give T-Case some space, but he is right back to where he started next door to T-Case. And I think he's going to be able to get it done through there. No, not quite. I don't know what happened. Looked like Leo was right there. What did I miss?
You know, I'm sorry, I was looking back. Vader Dan just took on a half-second penalty, so he's struggling back there with the penalties.
We'll take another look here. It looked like Leo had a really good look. Oh, just losing traction, so he slowed down a little bit. Went really smooth move there. Smart of him to just back out, keep himself in it for now. So there you go, taking a look on board with Rowdy Burns, who's just about a half second behind Slick. And about 11 seconds off the pace of our leader with Josh Moment.
Yep, keep in mind that Josh is on softs, and so pretty good advantage with the softs here. I'm learning, right? I didn't know that coming in, but it seems like they're quite a bit quicker.
It makes a bit of a difference. So.
And we talked about this, but I love how, VIPs, their liveries are always close, very closely themed, and then, Rowdy went the extra mile and put the Joker hat, over the lights and then the little star symbol over the back. It's a good looking livery, and it fits that theme perfectly.
And here you go. The battle for P5 continues with Leo and T-Case. T-Case running just a bit wide. I wonder if that will be a penalty. Leo's able to slide by in the U.S. Army vet. And I don't see a penalty for T-Case, which is very good because that will be able to give him an opportunity to try and catch back up to Leo. See if he can take back that P5, which he just lost. See, Dubs, I don't know about you, but if I'm back in 5 or 6, I think I'm going to try and work with the guy ahead of me to try and do everything we can to catch up to, 3 and 4.
Yeah, I just don't know that this is the track for that, though. You've really only got that really, that front straight, back straight, however you want to look at it, where any slip or bump drafting could possibly come into play, but even it's really not all that long. And then, here, unless you guys your braking points and that are exactly the same, it'd be hard to give much assist through this middle section.
True. 4 laps in, and we had, to my knowledge, I don't believe we've seen anybody run a Joker lap just yet. So keep an eye out for that. I would expect you'll see some of those coming up here shortly.
Yeah, and some lessons learned in the first exhibition. There's not been nearly the penalties in this go around. In fact, this might be the first time that I've scanned the entire field and not seen the little red letterbox above their name. Any of them.
Yeah, they're running clean. These guys are really certainly doing a great job keeping the cars on track and keeping themselves within the boundaries.
Josh has he's pulled out about an 11-second lead right now over P2 and S2C.
Yeah, all the way out there, all kind of by himself on those soft compounds. And taking a look at the battle for P3 as Rowdy Burns is trying to find a way to get up next door to Slick and make a move to get himself into that podium position.
Now, I did see somebody go wide there. It might have been Leo. It sure was. And only a 0.5. I mean, what's going on? Did we change the penalty settings to weak?
Leo dipped him a little tip here before the race starts. They wouldn't get him.
I guarantee it. Yeah,
they're taking good care of him. They're taking good care of him. Hey, you gotta take care of your vets.
I mean, if anybody deserves a large penalty, it's Leo.
Leo, I disagree with that.
Yeah, I think Leo got his big penalty in the way of Poison Ivy here last week. That poor guy. If anybody saw his video, he got ate alive.
And I do not wish that on anybody.
No. We've got a turn signal on. PhD Schlick. Now, let's see. So Leo did get to the outside. He saw him coming, but that is always a dangerous spot right there because if Leo would have held that inside line, now he's supposed to move out having saw the turn signal and give him space to come back on, but that is a dangerous place for re-entry off that Joker.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The guy on the Joker lap does have the right of way for a pretty significant piece of the track there, so you can't just knock him out of the way or cause them any trouble if they have run their Joker lap. So
yeah, smartly Leo quickly got to the outside, so good on him.
Here we go with Rowdy Burns, who's got Leo now trying to chase him down. Rowdy's got about 4.5 seconds between him and P2 and S2C. A little bit of a gap between him and the next driver ahead, but behind is a different story. That's just a half second. Leo is hunting him down, got him in the sights, and there is Slick, who is not too terribly far behind, 2.5 seconds back, with T-Case in tow for him. Slick still running with the blinker on. Slick, if you can hear us, you can turn the blinker off now.
And Leo, the only one in the mid-pack on soft, so let's keep that in mind. His tires are going to go quicker. He's probably going to have to pit sooner, and then he'll be a little slower on the back half of the race. So, come on, Leo, push it, get up there. Rowdy Burns with a Joker.
Lap. Yep. Rowdy Burns getting his Joker lap out of the way here on lap 6. And we're getting close to the halfway point. So watch for some pits. There you go. As you see, Slick has dove into the pits to get off that medium compound. He's going to take those softs, I imagine. And you take a look there at Better Dan, who's currently pulling up the rear. He's going to go in and get himself a pit change as well. That pit lane seems to be a little bit more tricky than usual for some reason. We've seen a few people have some challenges entering. I don't know that we've seen too many issues exiting, but the entry there looks like it's a little tricky, Sea-Dogs.
Yeah, we've had some style in pit entries for sure. I hope they keep it up. It's good entertainment.
Slick looks like he's going to be coming out on the softs, I believe. I think he's changed. And taking a look at Ecstasy here, who's got a long distance between him and P1 and Josh Moment, and a little bit less of a distance between him and Leo.
And again, Leo on soft, so yeah, he'll be on the
soft.
Slower compound here after his pit, which I would expect possibly in the next. Now, he has definitely conserved tires much better than if you recall. Bandit at this point in the last race had those tires worn down pretty hard on the vet, so Leo not pushing it quite as hard as Bandit was.
Yeah, and I know Leo does a very good job maintaining his tires. He is a little bit of a tire whisperer. He's not necessarily a shaggy dude, but he does very well with it.
Well, it's because he picks Mazda, right? I mean, you have to be a tire whisperer in Manu with Mazda, so he's learned that. He's learned the ninja tire conservation ways of the Mazda.
So we have Rowdy Burns coming in for his pit stop here to get off the medium compound. And our leader has not pit, has not jokered.
Almost exactly halfway in, and his softs are actually in still pretty good shape. He's still got 50% of all of his tires left, and they're wearing a lot more equally than the vets seem to do.
Taking a look at Josh there, you can see that tire compound that Sea-Dogs was just telling us about. Really in good shape, to your point. He could certainly get another 3-4 laps potentially, depending upon how hard he is pushing those tires through the little twisty turnies.
Yeah, the 19, almost 20-second gap, he's not really going to have to. He can kind of almost go on a cruise control a little bit here with a little over halfway through the race. Maybe not quite cruise control, but he doesn't have to push as hard now.
And there is our second place driver currently with Ecstasy, who's got about a 4.5-second gap between him and Leo. Oh, Ecstasy running a little bit wide. He does have his blinker on, so he's going to make the Joker lap. Hopefully that didn't cost him a penalty there.
Oh, it did.
That's a halfer. He's got his Joker out of the way. And I would bet he's going to go into the pits. Maybe I am wrong.
Nope, he did. Leo with the Joker. He's got the Joker out of the way. He's going to continue on the softs. He's going to go another lap or two here.
Ecstasy did go into the pits there, so there is TK, who's going to jump up into P3 for the time being.
Slick has a blinker on. Oh, but he just has a, yeah, he just forgot to turn it off. Yeah, he's already done his Joker. I forgot about that. And I said it wrong. Slick.
All right. Yeah, now in the prize race, it will be an issue if he drives around with his blinker on. That would, that would cause drivers to think he might be taking the Joker lap. So make sure you don't do that when you get to that final race. Jumping back on board with Josh Moment, who is extending his gap even further over the group here. He's currently 30 seconds ahead of the next driver with Leo.
Yeah, and Esther, of course, Esther just coming out of the pits, so that'll close back down some once Josh makes his pit.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say that will change, and you would imagine he's going to have to pit eventually, but he could, looking at Josh's tires, he could still go another couple laps without a big problem.
Yep, I agree. Also pointing out, I mean, what an in-race time, right? He's only a half a second off his quali time running in race, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, not very easy to do. A lot of times those quali laps are, half second to a second and a half faster than what you're going to run as far as your race pace. T-Case is going to get his Joker lap out of the way here on lap 9 out of 17.
In the words of T-Case, he probably said, I think I'll take my Joker lap, meow. Right, meow.
And he is also going to jump into the pits. Themselves some fresh tread. There is our second place driver in Leo, who is still pushing that soft compound. And what do you think, C-Dubs? One more lap on that for Leo?
Yeah, I think Leo he could possibly even go too. Like I said, he's treating them well. He's making his tires last. I'm just looking back to the field here, see if we got any pins, but it doesn't appear that we do. TK's coming out of the pits now. Let's see what our gap is here. So we got Esta is right now 55 seconds, so he'll still be back in that 25-second land once Josh and Josh has got his. He just completed his Joker lap. So
there you go, Josh.
Sorry,
I'm the Joker.
Yep, looking back and forth between the production screen and my screen, and sometimes I'm missing things here. So, and Josh is into the pits.
There you go. So you see Leo currently in P2. You got the Canadian collective there, P3, 4, and 5 with Slick, Esta, and Rowdy. And then TK's currently in P6 with Better Dan in P7.
Let's see if Leo dives into the pits here. He's about due.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He may do another. He is going to pit, it looks like. So he's going to go ahead and go on to the mediums here.
And the way he approached it, it almost looked like a last second, or maybe he's listening to the stream. It was like, oh yeah, I got a pit.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, he was kind of hanging to the outside, then all of a sudden he ducked down into the pits there. So.
Well, look, we have seen some people have challenges with that pit entry, so maybe he's aware of how that plays out with the sports tires and was able to navigate that very smoothly. So there's our current leader, Josh Roman, who is out of the pits. He got himself about a half a tank of fuel and went ahead and took those medium compounds. Josh, you should have gone hards. I would have been really impressed if you ran the hards.
Right. Of course, he has to run the sauce. But yeah, just get another pit stop in and run hards. Just
yeah,
because.
Why not?
Now, somehow in the melee, yeah, I was going to say, Slick has moved up into P2 here with the melee of pits and whatnot that's gone on. Maybe some traffic that Esta had to deal with, pitting when he did. It's kind of interesting because we've seen pits occur over several different laps. It's not like most races where they're coming in on this one or this, usually 2, possibly 3 lap spread, but we've seen as much as, I think, a 3 or 4 lap spread here of when guys are pitting. So yeah, Slick is, and he's actually closed the gap down a little bit. There's only 17 seconds now between he and Josh Moment, and Slick's on softs, and Josh Moment's on the mediums.
And Slick was on a purple lap for that section that we had witnessed. I'm not sure if that's still the case. Let's see if he can keep that up through the middle section. And no, he is not any longer. About a 10 off of his pace prior.
Here's something kind of interesting too. So Slick being the only Mustang in the field, look at the fuel burn on the Mustang as compared to the other cars. It is substantially worse. So I'm sure that's got to be something guys are going to be thinking about looking at for the final race, where fuel is going to become a concern and something you're going to have to address, especially with a slow fuel fill rate. So that Mustang is definitely eating more fuel than the rest of the field.
And there you have TK, who's going to be coming around the start finish line with Leo, not too terribly far behind him, but he is a bit back with about, I want to say, 5-second difference. Better Dan, who we knew would be in the Corvette. Well, I knew he was going to be in the Corvette. And I think Better Dan would like to have another chance at this.
Yeah, I do think he'll close that gap. Yeah, he's going to be in the prize split, so he'll get another crack at it. I think he'll close this gap up a little bit between he and Leo. You got to remember, Leo had to go on the mediums and Dan's on softs.
And there you have our current leader, and Josh with Slick behind him. There's P2. You can see P3 with Ecstasy right behind Slick. Ecstasy with another penalty, unfortunately.
Oh,
He has really had a tough go with those today.
And why did he get a 1.5? Esta gets the brunt of the penalties. It's like, hey, if we're going to give a bad one, let's make it Esta. We'll just give the rest of the guys half second.
Leo gave him a little elbow bump. Hey, give him all the ecstasy, okay? No problem. Here you go with Rowdy coming around that last turn, going now uphill towards the start finish. Leo's going to take that left and get himself up that hill as well.
That gap is shrinking between he and Dan. It's down to 1.7 seconds now.
Okay, so Dan's trying to make a comeback here to get himself out of that 7th position. Trade spots with Leo, maybe even up to T-Case's spot.
Yeah, and Slick's doing a good job, cutting the time down between P2 and P1. Unfortunately, it's only a 17 lapper, and it would probably take 30 laps to close that gap based on what he's making up each lap here. But still, Slick running a heck of a race. Yeah,
and look at his lap times there, running very, very consistent times here. You'll see from lap 8, he's in that 140.34, and then the 2 on 10, really, really consistent laps as he's
2.5 tenths. That's crazy. 5 laps at between 2.5 tenths deviation.
Yeah. Very, very consistent. Well done there on that.
Felt like that was somebody's key to the race, if I'm not mistaken.
It might have been. I don't know. Making it look easy. So let's take a look at Ecstasy here, see if he can remain penalty-free for a few laps. As I say that, he's touching grass. Keep it on the track, Ecstasy. You don't need any more red above your name. He's in P3. He's trying to hunt down Slick, but as you saw, Slick is running very, very consistent. Let's take a look back here at the battle as Vetter Dan has caught up to Leo. We know Leo is on that medium compound. Vetter Dan is on the softs. So Leo's going to have to throw that wide body kit on real quick. Try to hold off Mr. Vetter Dan.
Yeah, and in fairness to Leo,
outside.
Oh, Leo holds on to the inside there. In fairness to Leo, he just jumped in here, I think, with very little to no practice. He forgot about tuning, so he's certainly at a disadvantage here. If he comes into the prize split, I expect a little better race out of Leo.
Yeah, Leo had a little trouble through that section there, so it looked like he thought better of giving Vetter Dan too much trouble and kind of backed out, let Vetter Dan have that. Vetter Dan now up into P6. And for those of you watching at home, it looks like everybody here in this lobby, with exception to Leo, is registered for the prize split, which will come next after the conclusion of this race. We're sneaking up here on the end of this one. We've only got a few laps remaining. There is P4 Rowdy Burns, who's kind of in no man's land. He's got almost 6 seconds between him and Ecstasy, and 4 seconds between him and TK's.
3 to go.
The field split out just a little bit. They're spreading it out, giving each other a little bit of room. I think the battle is still potentially Vetter Dan and Leo, maybe? I'm not sure.
Well, Vetter Dan's pulled about a little over a second gap on Leo right now, so. And on that better compound, I expect him to pull away a little bit.
Right. Yeah, to widen that gap just ever so slightly through the next couple laps.
To your point, basically from P2 to P6, they almost have exactly the same gap. I mean, between a 4 to 6 second gap between each driver. Vetter Dan, kind of keep an eye here because his front right tire, of course that vet. He's pushing it. It's starting to give way a little bit, but with only, 2.5 laps to go, he can probably hang on to that.
Yeah, and you look at our leader there with Josh Moment with an 11, almost 12-second gap between him and P2 with Slick. PHG Slick, who is doing everything he can to make that up. You'll see his lap times have come off just a little bit, about a half second half second slower on laps 13 and 14 than he ran on 12, 11, and 10. But still, you know, not terribly off pace, just maybe a little shimmy, little shudder somewhere, cost him a little bit of time.
You know, with 2 to go, Slick's fuel light's on. Is this going to be a problem?
Oh, you know, you mentioned that Mustang was drinking some extra fuel here, so I wonder if he's going to have to do some fuel saving to get himself to the end of the second lap here. As we start our second to last lap.
Estes Saucer's still looking good with plenty of fuel. He's going to be able to continue to push. So I'd love to see this close up here between P2 and P3.
Yeah, and I mean that I would hate to see somebody run out of fuel and get passed, or you know, P2, but that's very possible at this point, knowing how much fuel that Mustang will guzzle.
So that being said, if anybody's paying attention, I don't know how many Mustangs we're going to see in the final.
So here we go with P4, who's, we're going to move back to P5. T-Case is trying to hunt down P4. Ooh, T-Case ended up with a 1.5 second track limit penalty, unfortunately. He's looking good doing it.
Absolutely.
In that classic T-Case color combo.
Glowing eyes staring at you.
That's right. That Better Dan livery is pretty sharp too.
And if I'm not mistaken,
the purple green
Leo
looks good.
You know that I like the gold and black, the U.S. Army, but Leo also uses T-Case's scary eyeballs there on the back of his ride.
Oh, does he? Okay.
He does, yes.
So here we go with our leader, who is currently on his final lap. He's got a little bit more room between him and Slick. Let's check on Slick's fuel. You know, he might make that.
I think he's okay.
He might be the fuel whisperer on this.
I will say out loud, you know, with 13-second gap, I would like to think we're going to see some kind of fancy finish by Josh. I mean, 360, I mean, something.
It sounds like you're willing that into existence, so
I'm trying.
Maybe Josh will oblige. Let's see how he's going to finish this up. And we're riding on board with P3 right now. Esta is catching up with Slick pretty quickly. That's down to about a 2.5 second gap. If Slick is maintaining, maybe he's doing a little bit of fuel saving that has slowed him down. That's one thing that is hard to see.
He is pushing that little Peugeot. Look at him. Every turn, he is coming out of there sideways.
He's got it down under 2.5 seconds. And as you mentioned before, you know, that Delta can move quite a bit through these turns. And it looks like Josh Moment has made his way down the straight and he's going to wrap up a second victory here.
Oh, here we go.
SJS
there we go. Thank you, Josh.
There you go. Little something for the fans. Well done, Josh.
Something. Uh-oh. Get it straightened up. Hurry.
He's got to get out of the way.
Oh,
He's got his on. Here comes Slick.
Oh, my gosh.
As you said, really good job closing the gap there to get himself into P3. Not enough to get into that second position. Here's Rowdy Burns. Looked like he is...
Style points across the line.
Wow, that was smooth. T-Case, what do you got for us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Little something, something. Attaboy.
Nice.
T-Case will take a P5 with that. Here's Better Dan, who's going to come in with a 6th position.
Yes, sir.
And he will also show off a little bit.
Okay, Leo, you got to pull the whole
early.
thing? I thought maybe he was going to pull the full.
I did too. I thought he was going to be able to put 3 or 4 spins and make it happen there. That was very nice, though, Leo. Very, very nice, sir. Great racing from our group of drivers there on our last exhibition. Again, congratulations to PHG Josh Moment for his 2nd victory in tonight's exhibition races. He does. Do you want to talk us through the results here? Yeah, talk about finishing.
Certainly. Yeah, once again, Josh Moment there with the P1. Slick P2, S2C rounding out the podium in P3. Then we have VIP Rowdy Burns, PHG T Case, PHG Vetterdan, Leo Las Vegas, and Fernando Button.
Well done. Very good driving by all of our drivers there in our second exhibition. So let's move on to driver of the race. C-Dubs, I think I'm going to have to go with your pick from the first, which was S2C. I think he did a really good job through that race, did a good job mitigating his penalties. And as you saw there at the end, he was closing the gap to try and get himself into P2 there towards the end.
He was. Just because I can't give it to Josh, again. I mean, come on, Josh, you can't hog it all. I'm going to give it to Schlick, who wheeled that Mustang around the track in style and did a really good job there with his P2.
Yeah, the fuel whisper, if you ask me. I mean, it looked like he was in deep trouble with 2 laps to go, but did a very good job maintaining that fuel to get himself across the finish line with very good results. So the poll is up there. Make sure to let us know who you would choose as driver of the race. In the meantime, we are going to take a little break, and we are going to come back with the prize round here on tonight's Joker Series race. So stay tuned and get yourself a fresh beverage, a little bit of popcorn, because this is going to be a good one. We'll be back soon. Thanks, everybody.
Did he win? Did he fall? Did the play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Crash and burn, spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Still the crowd, it's do or die time. Joker's chaos is the only way. Live for the race, no tomorrow to die. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down, yeah, till the engines fry. Joker series, where the fearless fly. Burn it down, yeah, till the finish line. In the chaos, we're alive. We shine.
And welcome back, everybody, to the SJS Joker series. We have concluded our first two exhibition rounds for tonight. We're going to be getting into the prize round here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we wanted to congratulate our driver of the race from previous. And that goes to, I think, is it tied? We need one more vote. Can somebody make another vote? We need a tiebreaker. Who is going to break the tie? What's going to happen? In the meantime, while somebody breaks that tie, a big shout out to, I think, was that Papa with the super chat? $10. Papa, thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciated that. And then also, while that was going on, Sal had 10 gifted memberships that went out. So be sure to check your information there. You may have been gifted a membership to Sal's channel. He does a lot of good content here. Very, very valuable to have. And it looks like Slick has been declared the winner as our driver of the previous race there. So well done to everybody in that last race. C-Dubs, do you want to tell everybody about 4D Racewear for a moment?
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet.
Very nice. And there's a look at some of that 4D Racewear that is going to be sent to our podium finishers here in this prize split that we are going to get started here in just a few moments. So Good luck to all of our drivers. That is some good looking race gear there. Love those shoes, the gloves. That's good looking stuff, man. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna get. So, let's take a look at the round information and what these gentlemen are going to be up against. So we are here at the Interlagos track. They're going to be running 26 laps, including one of those with a joker pattern, if you will. The tire wear is going to be that 8 times tire wear. They are required to use both the medium and the soft compound, although they have the ability to use any of the other compounds they want. Those are sport compounds, not racing. So take note of that. The fuel burn is going to be at 2 times. And then, as we saw in the previous races, the fuel refill is at 3 liters per second. So a little bit slow. It's not the fastest refill rate. You'll also see they have the 5 cars to choose from. So the 4C, the Corvette, the RCZ, as my buddy Flawed would say. You've got the Altezza and the Mustang. So a lot of good choices in the vehicles for these guys. I'll be very anxious to see what the majority of these guys are going to run in. We saw the Corvette do very well. We saw Josh Moment in the previous race do very well with the 4C. So, it's up in the air. It's hard to say what these guys are going to pick for the final race. C-Dubs, what do you think? I mean, if you had to come out here and after watching the 2 exhibition races, would you be picking the Corvette, the 4C, or something different?
Yeah, I think you're right there, the Corvette or the 4C. And I can see the entries, and we do have, it appears that we've got 12 racers in here, and I'm looking over the field, and we do have that Schlick is back in the Mustang, surprisingly. And I only say that because you can manage because you've got to have that mandatory stop, but with a fuel refill at 3 liters per second, that's a long extra time putting fuel in your car to get back out on the track. So he's going to lose probably, I would guess, anywhere between 4 to 5 seconds in the pits over the next person.
Wow, that's significant. I mean, we saw him do a very good job managing the fuel at the end of the race. Looked like he could have gotten himself into a bit of trouble had he not have managed it a little bit better, but did a very good job managing that. So it'd be very interesting to see how that plays out. One other thing, I wanted to take a second and welcome. We've got 2 French drivers who have joined us here. So kudos to you guys. I think it's quite early in the morning out there. Lucky to have you guys. We're glad to have you. Welcome to the Joker Series. Hopefully you guys enjoy the race. Bring some friends next round. There will be one coming up, and we will talk about that after the race as far as what is the next Joker Series race going to look like. But that will be an exciting celebration as that one falls pretty close to Sal's birthday. So it'll be a really fun Joker Series coming up next round. So quick update, just checking in with production. Are we just about ready for qualifying yet? Okay, so it looks like we've got a few more minutes before qualifying is going to get started. I think I heard 10 after the hour there. So we'll give the drivers just a moment. The drivers can do some tuning to the cars. So, in addition to having to pick one of 5 cars, then you also have to go in and tweak and tune it. And, one of the keys to the race, as Sal mentioned, was not to do too much, right? You can definitely overdo it and cause yourself some challenges by tuning. C-Dubs, if I remember correctly, your key to the race was pretty crucial as well, which we've seen play out, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be multiplied times 1,000 in this race from the standpoint that we've got heavy damage turned on now. So not only do we have those strict penalty limits with the strong penalties, now we're going to have damage. And what that means, if anybody doesn't know, heavy damage in the lobby setting, if you take damage to your car, it does not repair itself. You have to go back to the pits for a repair. So, if you take on a minor, hitting the bumper or something along those lines, probably not a huge deal, as we've only got the one real straight here where we're getting up to speed. But if you take something heavy, you're going to be losing a lot of time each lap, and you're going to have to make that decision. Do I pit or do I just fight it out until it's time to come in to switch tires?
Yeah, and it can be it can be very tricky because, you know, they're through some of these turns, you can see these guys really jockeying for position. The cars are very close. There is some bumping and grinding that goes on here at Interlagos. So, you know, hopefully these guys can maintain their composure, stay out of damage. And, you know, as my key to the race was, it's going to be consistency. You're going to have to get out there and, you know, make sure you're doing the same thing over and over. Being able to repeat that and maintaining that consistency to stay ahead of some of these very, very skilled drivers. Qualifying is getting ready to get going here, so we're going to jump out on track with our drivers.
Something I'll just say real quick for the French drivers, you've got two Midwesterners commenting, so if we get your names incorrect, we apologize. You guys can see them up there. One is Bouhier, we're not sure there, and then our other one is the Ramke, so I think Ramke's probably close.
Yeah, that one I think is the least likely for me to mess up, where the other one is probably a little bit more likely for me. Bouhier, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds pretty French.
Bouhier. I failed French, so I at least tried it, but so be. And take a look at those guys' liveries as we're going through, getting these guys out lap completed. There is Slick in that Mustang we saw him driving.
Yep, that's to see in the Alfa Romeo with the
Back
Italian
the
colors. Yep. Nice 4D Racewear there.
Yep, that's a good looking livery. Josh has chosen the Alfa as well. There's Fernando, who has gone to the Alfa. Hey, I know that guy. There's Fredbird in the Corvette. That's a good-looking livery, isn't it? That's the classic Joker.
It is.
Mr. Nasty, who is also in the... That's a Corvette, isn't it? No, I'm sorry. That's the Alfa. And Rowdy also in the Alfa. So you got a lot of Alfa Romeos, Corvettes, and a Mustang. And we saw Bandit in the first exhibition. Ran that same Corvette.
Bumblebee.
And yeah, the Bumblebee vet did a very good job, you know, giving Josh moments of trouble for the first half, maybe even longer of that first exhibition race until he caught a little bit of grass. There is Ramke.
That's a nice clean livery.
It is, and Bouhier. You guys will have to jump in the chat later and tell us how bad we handled your names. We apologize in advance.
Yes, okay. Certain apologies right now.
All right, so we are going to be getting these guys through their first hot lap here just in a few moments. We'll see kind of how this grid is going to begin to shake up. There's DK's classic look he loves. We saw Slick work some magic with that Mustang. Get himself into a podium position in the first race. That would equate to some 4D Racewear if he can do it again in this one.
He said, thanks for the extra pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No problem.
All right, so our Frenchman has come through and set a pole at 140.173. Vetter Dan is going to best that just a touch. See Josh Moment coming in with the sub 140 at the 139.2. So the grid is beginning to settle out a little bit. Again, we saw in the first two exhibitions, they're only going to get one more hot lap here. So these guys really have to get it right. You only get a couple laps to get it right. That can be tricky. And as you look down the grid, boy, those times are not terribly far apart. If you look at 2 through 8, they're all, you know, within, I don't know, 7 tenths.
Just wanted to point out for those of you that are tuning in for the Joker series, may not watch the PHG, you'll see on several liveries, there's a heart there that says Racing for Susan. And that's in memory of PHG's proprietor, PHG Papa. who recently lost his loving wife and mama to all of us there at PHG. That's a tribute to Miss Susan. So just wanted to give them a shout out.
There's a good look at TK's rocking that decal there. We'll see a lot of the PHG members support with that decal. She was more than just somebody watching racing. You know, she was very active in her community and really meant a lot to PHG.
Well, and we've said it before, there wouldn't be a PHG without Susan.
Woo! Look at Josh Moman putting up a 38.826. Ecstasy coming in with a 39.374. So we've got two drivers that have come in lower than 140 there. And that is flying.
Way to represent, guys. Nice job.
Goodness. And that grid is not separated by a whole lot of time. Looks like Rowdy is still able to come through. Let's see if he can move up from that P10 position. Anything better than a 40.979 will improve his starting position. And he is not able to move up. He did improve, but didn't change his position. So the starting grid is set there for these gentlemen. And C-Dubs, you want to talk us through the qualifying time, sir?
Yes, so Josh Moment, you know, no big surprise. That dude's out there just rocking out with a 138.8. Our first and only 38 that we've seen all night. SSC P2 with a 139. Vetter Dan with a 140. I said that wrong. Can't find the Vetter Dan.
There it is.
All right, there it is. Mr. I. Ramke, our French driver there with a 140.1. RTS Bandit and the Bumblebee Vet with a 140.4. PHG Slick with a 140.4. Mr. Bouyer with a 140.523. Brother T Case there with a 140.796. Then we've got Brother Kevin, Mr. PHG Nasty with a 140.9. VIP Rowdy Burns with a 141.2. Angry Fredbird in the Corvette with a 141.4. And BHR Fernando Button, he's tightening it up with a 141.9. So really tight across the field.
Yeah, really good qualifying from everybody there. And, you know, it makes you think, was Josh Moment holding back a little bit in those first exhibition races that we ran? You know, that's the first 138, and maybe he's just getting comfortable there in the car track combo. But that is a very, very fast lap, blistering.
Yep, so driver's last chance to adjust any tunes and make a tire check there before we get this race underway here shortly. Another shout out to 4D Racewear. We're going to be starting the race here in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, that gives us a little bit of time. Obviously, I think all these guys were able to catch our information earlier and some of the keys to the race. So hopefully they were paying attention, taking note, watching the first couple exhibitions. You know, C-Dubs, what do you think? Is there an opportunity to maybe do an undercut here and maybe start medium, do the undercut, get onto the softs, and then maybe try and close the gap to somebody like a Josh Moment tonight?
I do think so. And then we also saw that there are some drivers that can run those softs out a lot longer, right? So, yeah. You know, if I don't know, you know, I'm not the best statistician or technician. I'm not sure which word I need to use there, but, you know, if I'm good on softs, I may be starting on softs so I can see how long I can run them rather than trying to say, oh, I think I can run them for 12 or 11 or whatever and start on mediums, right? So that's all the thoughts that have to go through your head as you're now VIP Rowdy Burns is now speaking French in the chat here, which is really throwing me off. So yeah, okay, so he's having a conversation with those guys, but yeah, you know, there's definitely some strategy here. You know, fuel is going to be a concern for everybody now with 26 laps. It's going to be a bigger concern for Schlick, as we discussed in the Mustang. So yeah, it should be a good race.
Yeah, and I think we are just about ready to get these guys started and rolling. So the grid is set, drivers are in the seats, engines roaring, and we're just about ready to get our prize split underway tonight here on the SJS Joker Series. I am SlowMoe, joined by my colleague here, Mr. C Dubs. They are out. The lights are getting ready to come on. And let's see if Josh Moment can turn the three-peat tonight. I saw a false start there, perhaps with Better Dan. Lights are out, and they are not moving slow, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to go, 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 as you see on the screen.
What a start by Bandit. I mean, he came out like a rocket ship and went around everybody. Now, did he hang on? Did he keep from getting a pin there in that first turn?
I don't know if he was able to keep from the pen, but we will wait and see. You'll see Josh Moment has got himself a little bit of room there. STC is not too terribly far behind. You've got our French buddy in Ramakier, and then Bandit, TK, Slick, Bouillet, and Fredbird for your top 8 drivers right now. The grid's still pretty close. Don't expect it to space out too far in the first lap, but anything can happen. There's a look at our P3, Ray McKay, who is under some pressure with Bandit. Again, it's going to try and get around, which he does. And it's going to get himself up into the P3 position. Oh, a little shimmy there from Rameke. Really well done to save that and keep himself from losing any more positions. He's getting hunted down by TK, and then you see Slick. There is Bouillet. Angry Fredbird, and Rowdy. So back up to the front of the pack, there's Josh Moment, who is using every bit of track he can find.
SlowMoe, do we know if they're tuning in at our favorite little tavern in your backyard tonight?
You know, I heard they might be. When Fredbird runs, they do have a habit of putting those races on. So if you're joining us from Hankies, cheers to you guys out there. It is shot time. Lap 1 is over, and we're on to lap 2 here in the SJS Joker Series. Big shout out to Fredbird and the Hankies crew.
There we go. I would like to think that since I brought that up, you know, if I go in there and tell them, you know, hey, we brought that up, maybe I get a, you know, free Irish wake or something there.
C-Dubs, look, if you come to town, we will meet you at Hankies, and we'll take good care of you, don't you worry.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
I absolutely will. You just asked Toon. We've already been there and done that, so.
Okay.
Love to have you. You guys, any of you guys that come to town, if you're going to make it to Hankies, please do not hesitate to drop me a message. I'm happy to come out and meet you and say hi. Love meeting the racers from our community here. There is nothing better. So we've got ourselves a battle here. As you see, Slick is doing everything he can to hold off Bouillet. This pack is really tight here as these guys are still on their second lap. There's a lot of racing left to be done, but these guys are laying it all out on the table here early in the race.
Just real quick, we've got the top 3, you know, P1, P2, P3 are all on softs. And then we go mediums all the way back to Vetterdan's on softs. And then Fredbird is on softs. Fernando's on softs. Nasty's on mediums. Rowdy's on mediums. So we've got a mix. We've got a different mix of tire compounds here to start the race.
Okay, I'm sure those guys mid to backpack that are on the softs are looking to make up a little bit of ground here soon. So hopefully that plan works out as they anticipated it should. And you see TK's under pressure from Vetterdan. Vetterdan is going to be able to take the inside line. They're going into turn 1. Let's see if he can get it done. A little bit of sliding. And I think Vetterdan has gotten by TK and is now putting that pressure onto Remeke. Slick is back. Slick put the pressure on TK's. Yep. Looks like Vetterdan's peeked onto the inside of the Frenchman and gone ahead and got that pass done. Slick is looking in the inside, but not been able to get by just yet. Oh, and unfortunately, Remeke has gotten himself a 1-second penalty. That's going to certainly cost him at least a position or 2 by the time he served.
Yeah, and here comes our other French driver up the inside, who's now just past Slick and putting pressure on TK's. Nice,
Oh, and look
clean,
at
he
him.
held.
What a move.
Yeah, that was a slick turn there, and now onto his teammate, which you know he's going to get that position here shortly with that 1 second penalty to serve if he can hold on to P6. Slick is right there.
Let's take another look at that here. Really nice car positioning, keeping himself nice and tight on the inside of that line. That's really a great path to take through that. Able to just sneak inside TK's. Boy, he shortened that track up quite a bit, didn't he, C-Dubs?
He did. It makes you think, you know, sometimes you can get those tires on just over the top of those curbs and they'll almost hook you in. Our first Joker lap just took place. I missed who it was, but I saw them turn off. Who was that? Fred
I
Berger?
believe that was Bouillet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I apologize. That may have been Romke. Forgive me. I thought I saw that French flag up there.
Yeah, this battle is still P6 through P9 right now. I mean, oh, and TK's just got into Angry Fredbird. TK's got a little bit out of... Oh, and they are bumping going down this straight here. TK's Fernando. Oh, and TK's is gone.
Woo! That's a wild ride there. And that's unfortunate. He's going to have that heavy damage until he gets into the pits. Let's take another look. C-Dubs, talk us through this.
Yeah, it started a little bit before that. Actually, TK's got a little squirrely and got over. And yeah, and then we just played pinball going down the straight here. And somebody was bound to lose control of that. Unfortunately, Mr. TK's took the
him and Fernando had a couple heavy bumps there, it looked like. So, unfortunately, TK's was... the victim of the worst of that, I believe. So back up to the front of the pack, there is Josh Moment, who is not carrying away like we saw him do in the previous. Ecstasy is right behind him within a second. And then you've got a little bit of space in between 1 and 2, and then number 3, Bandit's about 4 seconds off of...
Fernando into the wall. So Fernando is still stopped here. I don't know if he had a... He may have had a disconnect because he is
had a
not
controller
moving.
malfunction, or I don't see the reverse lights. See if we can see what happened to Fernando as he's coming around this left hand. Oh, that! I wonder if that almost looks like a Fanatec type disconnect. I've seen that happen before. That's unfortunate. It looks like he is back driving, but that's going to be costly. Unfortunate. Sorry to see that for Fernando. Jump on board with our French friend here in Bouillet, who is currently running in P5. He's trying to hunt down Better Dan and hold off Slick, who's currently in P6. And then you'll see Fredbird just a little bit back behind Slick as well. So, White.
Looks like the tightest race right now is back up to P1, where Esta is closed down on Josh Moment, and they're making a race out of it up here.
And it's less than a second difference between the two. We've obviously seen Josh Moment has really good pace here with his qualifying time and his performance in the previous exhibition, so we know he can put it down. Josh Moment currently is doing his best to hold off Ecstasy, who has the current fastest lap in the 1:39.352. So Estasy's doing a pretty good job trying to keep up and getting himself into a position to get some of that coveted 4D race gear after tonight's race.
Yeah, so P1 through P4 are all on softs right now.
Okay, so the soft runners are all the way up front. And then you've got Fredbird, I think you said was on softs also, right?
He is back at P7, and Fredbird is also on softs.
Okay, so there you go. P5 is on your mediums. And doing a pretty good job keeping up with the soft compounds, considering.
So, you know, to add insult to injury to Fernando's probable disconnect, is when he hit the wall, he took a lot of damage to the front end. He's nowhere near at the stage where he would normally pit, but based on the speed that his car is moving right now, he may be forced to go into the pits. I'm not sure. We'll see right here. Looks like he is going into the pits to get that damage repaired.
And yeah, You wouldn't imagine he's going to come off the soft compounds, though, right? You're going to run those out a little bit longer. That's where this gets really tricky.
Yeah, and with 20 laps to go, I don't think you could make a set of mediums. I mean, you might be able to make a set of mediums last that long. I'm not sure.
I certainly wouldn't want the hards. I think I'd rather drive on, you know, ice cubes, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then also 20 laps of fuel in any of these cars would be pushing it. We know the Mustang wouldn't do it, but might be able to get the Alfa Romeo to pull it off.
And speaking of Mustang, there is Slick in P6. He's trying to hunt down Bouillet and get himself at least up into the top 5, trying to position for a run towards that podium spot.
So Fernando did take softs. He took new softs, and he took on a full tank of fuel.
Oh, new set of tires. Okay, that's a smart choice. So, gonna go ahead and get a fresh set of rubber and get all that damage fixed. Get yourself back out there. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner there, you'll see the track map. You can kind of see the red arrow is the car that we're watching. So we're currently looking at P9 Nasty, and you'll see there's quite a few cars up ahead of him, kind of bunched up. A little gaggle, as Toon would say.
Yeah, Fernando's in danger of getting lapped here, and of course with that disconnect and the pit stop, understandable, but nobody wants to get lapped here at Interlagos, not on lap 7.
No, that's a tough way to have the prize race go. As we jump on board with Bouillet, who is really doing a good job holding off Slick. He is on the mediums. Slick is as well, and then you got Fredbird back behind them, who is on the soft. So 1 through 4 soft, 5 medium, 6 medium, 7 soft. And here is number 2. You'll see that he is still about that same distance that he has been away from Josh Moment for the last couple laps, right about that 1 second mark. Estes still maintaining the fastest lap of this race so far with a 1:39.352. And I would also imagine we're going to start seeing a lot more Joker laps completed here now that we're starting our 8th lap around Interlagos.
You would think so.
For those of you guys who have the broadcast on, I'm sure somebody went, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We got to run a Joker lap, don't we?
Yeah, Rowdy Burns just got an overtake on T-Case back at P10.
Yeah, T-Case is running with that damage, so he is going to try and tough it out and see what he can get done. He is on the medium, so looked like T-Case was running a little bit wide as we went to that replay here.
Yeah, VIP Rowdy Burns
missed the pass
into the pits. Not sure. Seems early to take a pit stop, especially if you're on mediums. Trying to make softs go 19 laps might be asking a whole lot.
Unless he's planning on a 2-stopper, so he goes soft perhaps.
Could be.
You know, when you extend the race a little bit, that maybe adds a little bit more to the fuel management strategy. So perhaps opening up a door for a 2-stop strategy. And there is our P3 driver, Bandit. We haven't heard too much from him. He is kind of all by himself out there having a Sunday drive, if you will, with 7 seconds between him and P2, 6 seconds between him and P4. He is working to get himself some 4D racewear at the end of this race here tonight. P4 can't find a Veternan. I can't say that. So there you go, P5 and Bouillet. And you see Slick still right behind him trying to close that gap. It is under a second difference between the two drivers. And, you know, C-Dubs, to your point, you know, I'm curious to see how this fuel is going to play out for Slick. If it does end up being potentially a 2-stop race for some people, I think that would play out to his advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. I don't know that you're playing, because I don't even remember. I don't know if you remember if Robbie Burns had any damage. I don't recall him having damage, but then again, it just seemed like that would seem that yeah, he did not. So okay, I'm hearing that he did not. So I don't know about that strategy. Who knows? Who am I to say? But everybody could easily pull off a one stop here, I would think. So
I
we'll
would
see.
think so as well. Yeah, if you can stretch those mediums out far enough, if to be honest with you, if Fredbird's not running a two-stop, I don't think you should run a two-stop, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at Fredbird here real quick. His tires, he's on softs. He's still got close to 50% of his tires remaining there and over a half a tank of fuel. So, yeah, to your point, if the vet, now, that being said, of course.
Oh, and here we go. We got a challenge for the. Oh, I'm sorry. This is. I thought there was a challenge for the lead. That is Josh and Fernando. So Fernando has got the lap. He was trying to jump into the slip. For a second, I thought we had S&C challenging.
Yeah, I think Esta probably would have liked if that held him up just a little bit, but I'm not sure in the lobbies like this if a lap driver gets ghosted or not. I know in the dailies and that they do. Esta might have gone a little wide here. I'd hate to see a penalty. Oh.
Yeah, there it is, as you mentioned. And he's down about a second from what we saw him maintain through the first 6-7 laps there. He was about
I think
a second
he just
off
got
the
another
lead.
one. He just went wide again. Hopefully it did. It added another second. So Esta with 3.5 seconds to serve on this lap.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, Esta. Maybe a Joker lap opportunity for him then, as we bounce over to Angry Fredbird there. Love that Joker. Yeah, if you look at Fred's tires, like you mentioned, C-Dubs, compare those to like Bandits, Fredbird's really doing a good job maintaining that tire wear.
Yeah, Bandit's hard on tires.
Hammered.
He's hard on tires, no doubt.
Dunlop guys love him, don't they?
So now here's what I'd like to know. Does anybody know is Bandit on controller, right? Because I understand that those on controller.
I do know.
Okay, you do know.
He's on a rig, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say he's got the Logitech. It could be the Fanatec. I'm not sure which one, but he does have a nice rig. Yeah, he's got a good set.
And Bandit hits the Joker lap. Got that out of the way. Let's see. Is he going to turn the signal off? He stays to the inside. Bandit, if you hear us, turn your signal off. He did.
Good to do that.
Nice work.
Back on board with P5 and our Frenchman, one of our two Frenchmen in Bouillet.
Schlick into the pits. Oh
no, yeah.
Oh no, it was Esta.
Dan.
Okay, sorry.
So they're going to come in and get off of that soft compound. Lap 11, interesting. Okay. Makes me wonder how long Bandit's going to be able to push those. We saw him in the first exhibition and maybe pushed it a little bit too far, and it looks like it's possible that he will do the same thing this race.
You're
We'll
right.
see if he's going to take a pit or not once he gets through the switchbacks and up to the straight.
Yeah, he's put himself in the same position. I mean, that tire's going to be greasy here in about 2 more turns. He might be okay to get out of this lap, but if he doesn't pit here, he's going to be in big trouble.
There is your current leader in Josh Moment with a pretty substantial gap right now. It's about 18 seconds between him and P2, who is Bandit. And here is Josh's Joker lap. So he will be able to check that box and say, I have completed my Joker lap for the round. Here comes RTS Bandit, who has also completed his Joker lap. Looks like he was a little delicate through that section, making sure he didn't repeat what happened in race 1. And I think he's going to go ahead and go in and hit his pit through there.
There you go, smart move. Oh, he got squirrely. He just crossed that auto drive line as he went in sideways.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, that pit lane looks tricky.
He almost did it.
We've certainly seen some people with challenges getting into the pits throughout tonight's exhibition races. So, Bandit in the pits, and he's going to get leapfrogged there by a few folks. Slick, Fredbird, and Iramke are able to make a pass there.
Yep, Bouye, he moved up into P2.
And, you know, to your point, C-Dubs, look at Fred's tires. Talk about a tire whisperer, man. He's on softs. He's got 12 laps on him.
Yeah, he's doing well, especially in that vet. Of course, we kept judging the vet off of Bandit, and I think we've learned now that Bandit just happens to be hard on tires, so maybe that's not a fair judge. I'm going to check out another vet here real quick. Oh, yes, they have.
So and that makes me wonder, who hasn't yet?
So Josh Moment, who I believe is getting ready to come into the pits. His tires are getting pretty low. He does. He dives into the pits. Okay, so he's what? Just between half and a quarter tank of fuel with.
Yeah, so I don't think Bouillet's pit yet.
So yeah, they'd be curious to see if they try to dial in just enough fuel to wrap up the race, or if they'll give themselves a little bit of extra. And Bouillet's on the mediums, and his tires are looking good, and he's going to drive on by.
Little flash for us, I think, there.
Yeah,
he's done a great job with the medium compound so far tonight. As you see, Josh Moment, Fredbird has gone into the pits. We have a new leader in our Frenchman, Mr. Bouillet.
I don't know if Slick's driving different here, but he seems to be certainly managing his fuel much better in this race than the last race. I'm going to guess he's done a little short shifting, learning a little something from that exhibition.
Yeah, that would make sense. And it's also possible maybe he didn't take on enough fuel in the previous, although he got to the finish line. So, you know, it's really hard for us to say without getting to chat with him a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think most of them didn't even take on fuel in the exhibition, if I'm not mistaken. I think the majority of them drove on through without taking on fuel.
Okay. Taking a look on board P5, which is currently Esta. And he's got quite a bit of ground to make up if he wants to catch up with Josh, who's about 14 seconds ahead of him there. And then he's got Nasty, who is that about almost 9 seconds back behind him. So a little bit kind of by himself for a moment. You see Better Dan, who's got that fresh set of mediums for the most part. About 3/4 tank of fuel. Slick, who is going to get his Joker lap out of the way here on lap 13.
And Slick into the pits.
Straight into the pits. So the French duo runs 1-2 at the moment with Bouillet and Iramke. Followed by Josh Moment. He's about a second off their pace. Josh is on the medium compounds. And looks like he did about 3/4 of a tank.
So our two Frenchmen, Nasty, and I believe, nope, just our two Frenchmen and Nasty have yet to pit.
Okay. I wonder if they're holding off a little too long. But like we talked about, I think the Frenchmen were both running medium, so maybe they're just trying to make sure they've got enough traction on those softs come the last few laps.
So now what's interesting is they're both in the same car, same tire compound, but look at the difference in tire wear. It just shows you how the different driving styles, Bouillet has significant more tire wear, or I'm sorry, scratch that. Ramke has significant more tire wear than Bouillet.
Yep, doing a very good job with that medium compound. And Ramke with a little bit of a slip coming off there, looked like he touched the grass, able to maintain his composure, and a very nice job to keep himself in P3. He's probably got a little bit of room, but certainly don't want to use that. And was that Bandit making a pass on Nasty? I think we saw. Looked like that was quite smooth. As we know, Bandit is going to tear those tires up.
But they're fresh. Let it roll.
No mercy.
Let 'em eat.
Yeah, no mercy. Well, let's take a look at Rowdy Burns, who's got Slick behind him, Fred Bird in front. VIP
Nasty.
Racing Team.
Yep, Nasty's coming in for his pit stop now.
So the Frenchmen continue to push, being the only two on track that have not hit yet. I hope that is not too late for them. But then again, they're going to be taking on the soft compounds once they do.
Yeah, when this shakes out, you know, it's going to be Josh Moment, then Ezda, and I believe there's probably going to be about a 13, 14 second gap between the two of them. And they're both going to be, of course, on medium tires. So I think that's going to be our race unless something really shakes up from behind them. But we're going to have hopefully another tight one between Josh and Ezda here shortly once the two Frenchmen come into pit.
Look at Josh with a little drift through there. Really nice job. He is certainly pushing that car to its limits, using every bit of track he can muster. Coming around that uphill left-hand turn towards the start-finish.
There's Bouet into the pits.
And it looks like Ramke was following, if I'm not mistaken. And yep, there we go. So everybody has now made one pit stop. And Josh Moment will regain the lead.
Yep, just under 14 seconds like we predicted.
You got Better Dan, who has a Bandit hunting him down at the moment. Come into turn one. Love seeing those brakes warm up as they jam it on. Look at Bandit with a really nice exit. He's got some speed and momentum. He might be able to get this done here on the back straight. Pulls up next to Better Dan. I think Better Dan might have ran out of room a little bit. Gave that position up in order to maintain or prevent any damage from occurring. And it looks like our Frenchmen are coming out. So let's take another look at this here. C-Dubs, you see what I see is, do you think Better Dan kind of gave this to him on the straight?
I'm not sure. You know, Bandit had the... Oh, that might get another look. That might get another look there.
Fair, yeah.
Bandit didn't appear to give him any space on the outside. It appeared he pushed him out. And, you know, I guess we would know because if he did, then we didn't see a pin. Did we see a pin occur? So, no pin. Now, I do want to point out, you know, to Nasty here in last. He's 11 seconds right now behind TK. Nasty, all is not lost. And the price for P11, you may not get the boots, but we are going to send you a nice set of shoelaces. They're not nice necessarily from the clearance rack at Walgreens, but shoelaces for you there at P11 coming at you. White or brown, your choice.
Jumping on board with Rowdy Burns. And you see the Frenchmen are out there with him. And there is Slick. So Slick and Rowdy are kind of sandwiched by the two French drivers. Here you have a look at Iramke, who's got a Fredbird on his bumper quite close. Fredbird using advantage of that slip. Let's see how they navigate turn one and the next couple twists here. Fred looks like he's got a really nice exit speed there. A little bit much maybe. Won't be able to pull away ever so slightly as he kind of, I think he managed that last section just a little bit smoother than Fred. Rowdy's going to look to the inside of Slick, but not quite able to get next door to him. And Slick really is working some magic with that Mustang. We haven't seen anybody else even drive one. So kudos to Slick for being the odd man out, saying, I'm doing it.
Now, who did we lose? We started with 12, right? We lost a driver?
Fernando.
Oh,
we lost
Fernando.
Fernando.
Okay.
Yeah, he
okay.
had the challenges, and looked like he might have had an engine failure in the end. So it's unfortunate for him, but there's always tomorrow.
I just looked at the chat, and Fernando said he did not feel good and his rig disconnected, so just couldn't get his mojo up. Okay, sorry, Fernando. We thought maybe that's what had happened.
Yep. If you're having those connection problems, I do recommend a USB-C adapter. Plug it into the USB-C. That's what Fred did, and it solved all his problems. It's like a $4 fix. So try that out, see if that helps. So there is one of our French contenders in Ramaki. Yeah, made a nice move to get by Rowdy there. Rowdy does not go quietly, though, as he is looking to potentially take that spot back.
Yeah, I thought he was going to challenge him there on the inside, but he thought better of it and backed off. Probably a smart move still with
Yeah, I agree.
7.
A lot of racing left to done.
Yeah, 9 laps left.
To be done. See him charge down the back straight. Here is our current leader, Josh Moment, with the 13.7-second gap over him and Ecstasy. Esta with the 16-second gap over our next driver in Bandit. Bandit's getting hunted down by Vetter Dan. Vetter Dan could potentially have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder after the incident we saw there coming onto the back straight. I don't know if that was going to be a penalty or not. It looks like he got through that unscathed.
So T-Case pitted early on, but T-Case is not going to have enough fuel to round out this race based on what I'm seeing as I look down through the field here.
Oh,
that's right. He had to get rid of
T-Case did have the damage.
That's
Right,
right.
so-
Yep, that's right.
that would be the early pit.
So if I'm T-Case, and if you're listening T-Case, you're going to have to pit again anyway. Your softs are halfway gone. Maybe take a pit, get some fresh softs to round this thing out.
So here you see Rowdy, who is into the pit, and I think that's his second stop, right?
Yes, because Rowdy did. He pitted on lap 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I thought he took a second set of softs, so he's going to have to go onto the mediums. That's going to be tricky for him towards the end of the race here. He's got a lot of folks that went soft. There you have Nasty, who has improved on his best time. Pushing that correct limit as close as he can get it there through the first set of turns.
Rowdy might be listening because now he wants the shoelaces. It appears that Josh and Estacy's crew still talking. Dinner date must still be on.
Okay. And then you've got Bandit back in P3.
At the Applebee's. Yeah.
Bandit has been able to put a little bit of space in between him and Vetter Dan, both of them in the Corvette. There you have our
field. Our only fuel issue is going to be T-Case, and he's not listening because he should pit. He should get off these worn softs. He's going to have to take on some fuel anyway. T-Case, I'm trying to tell you through the airwaves, go to the pits, get fresh softs. And he does.
I was going to say, don't forget the two Frenchmen went on to the soft compounds. So we expect them to be able to make up a little bit of ground here now and our final lap. And Iramaki and Slick have been kind of partners through this race here. They've been running pretty close to each other for a while. There he is. Slick is in the middle of the French dip there, isn't he?
Yep, yeah, got the old French bread, fish sandwich. And all of these guys on soft,
baguette,
so...
if you will?
Yeah, yeah. Not even sure we said that right, but yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine I probably butchered that too. There you take a look at Better Dan, who is doing everything he can to catch up to Bandit and get himself into a podium position. Bandit seems to be doing a very good job with his consistency, keeping the car on track, no penalties, no shimmy wimmies. It's a good thing. He can hold that out for the next, 6 laps here. You've got Bouillet, who is, the soft runners are making a good run here on the front, guys. So this is certainly far from over. Look at that delta there between Bouillet and Better Dan. That is shrinking quickly. And Slick is right there to join.
Yeah, I gotta believe that the pressure Slick's putting on Bouillet and Slick having plenty of fuel this time. He did take on extra. And that did move him back the field a little bit, so... But I gotta believe he's gonna overtake Bouillet here in the next lap or so.
Think he will? Okay. He will not go quietly. He has not so far.
Certainly,
and that Mustang is never quiet.
Yeah, he's taking the apex. It's way more aggressive. And if he gets a good run out of that last turn, I think the Mustang with some slip will have what it takes to get him in turn 1.
Yeah, let's see if he can keep himself in position through the switchbacks, as I like to call them, to get himself a run in the start-finish straight. Here we go, riding on board with Slick as we take a look.
He's giving him the lights, the business.
To give him a little flashy flash.
Little flashy flash.
Little hey, how you doing?
He had a bad exit. Slick had a bad exit right there, but Ramke's actually giving him a little bump there. Probably not meaning to, but helping him catch up to Bouillet, who's now closed the gap on Better Dan. Oh no, Slick!
Oh no, not
Hold
Slick!
It.
Keep together. Well done to save that. He did lose a position to Iramaki through that unfortunate little shimmy. And now Better Dan looks to be within the sights of both Frenchmen. And they certainly set their alarms, and they mean business today. They woke up on the right side of the bed. They are here to make their names heard.
Around the outside, he's going for the move on Better Dan. Better Dan closed him off.
Well, a little switchback potentially, but...
To me, with this straight, I would have given Better Dan the bump, right? Get up there and catch Bandit. We'll fight another day. Right now, let's close on another position. He does get him on the inside.
Better Dan maybe didn't quite hit his braking point as he would have liked to, and both French drivers able to make a very easy pass through. And now they put Bandit in their sights. I don't know that there's a whole lot Bandit's going to be able to do as quickly as they have closed on this front group.
Yeah, and especially with Bandit, you know, he's on mediums, but he's managed to wear those mediums out pretty good. So Bandit's, you know, he's at risk in losing 2 or 3 positions over the next few laps, as he either has to try to conserve those tires or he wears them down to nubs.
Oh, I don't even know if it's going to be the next 2 or 3 laps. It may be this one.
Yeah, Bouillet is on the rear of that car, and let's see, Bouillet gets a great exit out of that last turn. Seems to have the overspeed. I don't know. That's where the vet shines. You can see when he wasn't in his draft, the vet just pulls off. But got a little help from his teammate there, a little bump draft.
And he is making that vet as wide as it can get.
Once those guys get out of the draft,
we're going to see these two come into turn 1 side by side, perhaps. No, he backs out, looks towards the inside.
Trading paint. All 3 of them are trading some paint. Luckily, no damage that I can see.
And I know Bandit will not yield lightly. Look at these 3. What a battle we've got. He gives them the flashes. Dubs, and I'm coming by whether you like it or not. Bandit touching that apex, making sure he is in the way, and it looks like Bouillet's got to the inside. It's going to put him on the outside for the next turn, but he has got the speed to get by. And there you go. Ramke takes the inside. What a move to get by Bandit there. What a move by the two French drivers to get themselves up into 4 and 3 respectively.
And all clean, all things considered. I mean, they were tight. They were trading some paint, but it all seemed to be done with class.
It really was. That was very well done. It could have gone much worse, and they certainly made the best out of that situation. So those two, it looks like they are. Boy, that build to ship that 4D Racewear to France is going to be a little high, but so be it.
Sal's taking donations for shipping as we speak.
Right? All right, so here we've got Slick, who has now made the move past Bandit. Bandit is unfortunately losing positions somewhat quickly now here towards the end of the race, with only a few laps to go, and I believe he's going to get a penalty there for running just a touch wide, potentially. There it is, 3. Ooh, that is a rough one. That's a 3-second penalty. Ouch. So certainly going to yield that position to Better Dan once he serves that. He's got to get himself back together before he loses too much more. And to your point, C-Dubs, he's torn those mediums to shreds.
Yeah, he'll be lucky to hang on to that. Josh Moment is, I mean, 25 seconds over STC right now. He's locked in. He is locked in.
Yeah, you know, I know that Josh can really put down some quality laps, and you know, for the couple Joker series that I have been able to comment, Josh has done just that. So he is certainly putting his foot down to say, you guys are not taking this crown away from me. He is looking for the Triple Crown tonight, and the Frenchmen are doing everything they can to put themselves in a position where they can both get a little bit of 4D Racewear. So they're trying to catch up to STC. They're about 8 seconds back. I don't know if they've got enough race left to do it, but it is going to be interesting.
Yeah, what I'm interested to see is if, you know, obviously they've been working together through the whole race, but with P3 being the left gift position, are those two going to battle it out at the very end? That'll be interesting to see. And I'm seeing in the chat, Sheldo has joined us. Sheldo, thank you and welcome to the chat.
What's
and
up,
if anybody's,
Sheldo?
if anybody's in there that has not hit that like or subscribe, make sure you do that for us, please. As Sal moves on, working on 10,000 subscribers. I mean, he's 9,000 so short, but we're working on it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. One at a time.
He's much better.
While we're talking about subscribers, don't forget to like and subscribe for your hosts. We love a little bit of follow too. We have channels. We love it when you guys stop by and check out our stuff. There is Fredbird, who is currently in P8. He has a chance to catch Bandit. Bandit has served that 3-second penalty. Fred doesn't have a lot of time to do it, but one little mishap could change the entire race. So let's see if everybody is able to keep their composure and keep that consistency in place for the last couple laps.
Bouillet's starting to pull on his teammate just a little bit. He's got that gap up slightly over a second. They have closed down under 6 seconds to STC, but with only about a lap and a quarter remaining, I don't know. I don't think there's enough time to close a 5-second, 6-second gap there.
No, I would agree. You know, only 1 second if the guy in front of you is doing what he needs to do and hitting his apexes. Look at STC on those worn mediums. Those are tough. Not quite as bad as we saw with Bandits, but they are certainly worn.
Both of our Frenchmen have fuel warning lights. So that might be an issue.
Well, they've got 1 lap to go. I would imagine they've done the math. Maybe they talked to Sheldo, who is potentially one of the most detailed drivers I have ever gotten a chance to speak with. Sheldon is Philologist is always fun to have break down a race for you. He will give you details you never thought of. Yeah, look at that front right on slick, boy. That Mustang. And again, with the fuel, there is not much left. Currently holding on to P5 with the
he's got 9 seconds. Yeah, he's got 9 seconds to better Dan behind him, so he could easily just kind of kick back, start short shifting, take it easy, not getting into trouble.
As we jump on board with our leader, coming around the final turn, he's going to hit this start finish. He's got a enormous gap between him and Esta, and Josh Moment is certainly going to secure the three-peat for tonight's Joker Series. Well done, Josh Moment. My goodness, what a show of force he has given us tonight.
Is he gonna cross the line backwards? Oh goodness, no, he just does the 360s. Okay, Josh, get across that line. Don't lose the boots. Do not lose the boots.
Nah, he's got it under control. More than enough time for some showboat. All right. A little drifty. There it is. Your winner for tonight's Joker Series, Josh Moment, who will certainly be taking home some 4D Racewear. Ecstasy on the second podium position. And our Frenchman Bouillet with our final podium position. Ramaki taking P4, Slick in P5. What a great run in that Mustang he had. Here's Vetter Dan, who's going to close out in P6. And RTS Bandit, who's going to finish in P7. With Angry Fredbird finishing in P8. Very good run for him as well. And you'll see Rowdy right behind Fredbird there. Rowdy's going to slide across the line. You see the lights flashing across the wall.
Some style points.
And here comes Mr. PHG Nasty with a nasty touch to the wall and a couple extra spin-ons.
T-Case is setting up for something special. Are we going to see the burnout
T-Case
across
is
the line?
going to take a pause. Get it set up. He's almost out of fuel.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Oh, look at this. What do you got, T-Case? Light him up, buddy.
Smoke show.
Burn him for Susan, buddy. Here we go.
That could mean different things to different people, but yes.
Fair enough.
Great job, T-Case.
Well
Thank
done,
you for
T-Case.
the fabulous burnout.
A little more. A little more. Oh, and he said, not yet. I'm not done
Not
yet. I want more.
Not yet.
Ah, there it is. What a fantastic race for tonight's final Joker Series run. Those guys put on a great show for us. And congratulations to Josh Moment on your victory. Kudos to you, sir. You will be getting some excellent 4D Racewear. C-Dubs, talk us through the lineup here.
Absolutely. No shocker here. Josh Moment with a commanding victory. Followed by Ecstasy. Do not let that 9-second fool you. Josh did 47 different maneuvers before he crossed the finish line. Mr. Bouillet, our first Frenchman there, P3. I. Ramke, our other Frenchman, in P4. The Canadian Mr. Schlick in P5. Vetter Dan in P6. Bandit, who had a little bit of a rough race. We know he's faster than P7, but still nothing to get upset about with a P7 there. P8, Angry Fredbird, Angry Fredbird there representing Hinkies. P9, VIP Rowdy Burns. P10, our very own PHG Nasty. P11, our brother, PHG T-Case. Another brother in VHR, Fernando Button, rounded it out. P12, who did not finish, had a couple equipment issues, wasn't feeling the best, but appreciate you joining us here, Fernando. Always fun to have you.
Yeah, well done from those guys, man. What a great race we got to see there on our prize race for tonight. Shout out to the 4D Racewear crew. Those guys were certainly battling to get some of your gear, and we thank you for making that possible. C-Dubs, who are you picking for your driver of the prize race tonight?
You know, I'm actually going to go for our P3 position, Mr. Bouillet. I felt like they obviously put their time in. They worked on their strategy and got a nice P3 there. So I'm going to give it up for our French brother, Mr. Bouillet, and welcome him to the Joker series.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to this series. Really great to see those guys setting their alarm, getting up early, and coming out and making their names be heard. So bravo to them. Josh Moment seems like the obvious pick, although I'm going to go with Ecstasy. I think he had a fantastic race, did a really good job maintaining himself, his composure. We saw him with a lot of penalties through the first couple of races, and I think he did a really good job mitigating that through the finals. So I am going to pick him. It doesn't mean that those are your only choices. So let us know who you guys are going to be choosing. They have the poll up there for everybody to pick. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. The Joker series were lost but never found. Burn it down, yeah. Burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Stealing sparks, we're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Crash and burn, spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Still the crowd, it's do or die time. Joker's chaos is the only way. Live for the race, no tomorrow to die. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never.
All right, everybody, welcome back. That was an exciting finish. The that prize split, we had 12 drivers in there. There was a lot of action going on. C-Dubs, SlowMoe. Listen to you guys commentate that. That was a fun one to watch. I mean, it was all sort of that mid pack, but there was a lot going on in that mid pack, and the strategies. The guys who started on the softs and the mediums. And how it all played out. We had some passing at the end. That was a fun one to watch. Any other thoughts you guys want to give on that?
Oh, I'll jump in. I really enjoyed watching the two French drivers talk about some classy racing there. They had a really, really strong strategy. They worked it together, made some really clean passes there at the end to get themselves into competition for that podium spot. So really exciting to see those guys show up. And obviously, we know it's very early out there. So I imagine they're going to be flying pretty high throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think I heard 4 a.m. was the approximate start time for them. Where it's 9. It was 9 o'clock here when we fired off that race, and they said it was going to be 4 a.m. there. So I'm also really glad to see some people, going a little more global, bringing some other people into this. That was a lot of fun. C-Dubs, you got any thoughts before we get into the remainder of the stream here?
You took the words out of my mouth with those guys. That, again, great to see that. Also, Josh Moment, what a machine that dude, right? Like, just like a robot up there. He's just get out of my way. I hit the apex perfect every time. That's what it seemed like with Josh Moment. So great job, guys. Esta, same thing. Esta, it's right there. Of course, got gapped a little there. But, some guys, like me, if I get up front, in the rare chance I get up front, I get nervous. Like, when am I going to get past, right? And then other people are like, oh, I'm in front. I'm just going to leave everybody now. Bye. So obviously Josh has that mentality. But great job to everybody there. It was fun. And poor T-Case, got into a little trouble early. But got those laces coming, so that's good. So it was a great race. Good times.
Yeah, so speaking of the new guys, we did close down the poll, and Mr. Bouillet did take driver of the race. That seems to be the fan favorite, the newcomer coming to this. So congrats to him on that. And, once again, congrats to the winners here. We got our little virtual podium. We got Josh Moment there taking first place. Good job. Ecstasy in second. And Bouillet in third. Congrats once again to you guys. Put on a great show. It was a fun one to watch. Definitely hope to see all of you back again. And with that being said, we're at that time of the night where we're ready to reveal next month's combo. Is anybody excited for that? I know I like to kind of build this up. So next month is, as SlowMoe mentioned, my birthday is actually February 11th. So it's the day before. But I still wanted to run this on a Thursday. So we're doing it the day after my birthday, but I made this next combo as one that I would want to do with the kind of settings that I would like. And I know there's some people out there that are really going to enjoy this, and maybe some others that won't. But before we go to that, I do want to also still shout out to 4D Racewear. I want to show off. 4D Racewear gave me this custom designed shirt with my logo on it. If I bring it up high enough, you can see it's got 4D on it.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm working with the owner to see if he'll actually put this up and start selling these. I think this is a slick shirt. You can't tell from this camera angle, but I love this thing. On the back, it's got my Salamander Racing across the back, almost like a jersey. So anyway, again, shout out to them. Thank you to 4D Racewear for providing the prizes to our winners. They will be providing the podium prizers in our next race as well. That's the trifecta they signed up for, and we'll see where the sponsorship goes from there. But without further ado, let's show you what we got on board for next month.
Drum roll.
We have got the 24 hours of Le Mans. We will be running the no chicane layout, and the 2 chicanes will be the Joker lap, or the Joker laps. We will go back to having 2 Joker laps again. The 3 road cars involved are the Lamborghini Gallardo LP564 from 2008, the Ferrari 430 Scuderia from 2007, and the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAM from 2020. All 3 of these cars will get over 190 miles an hour on the straight. There's no tuning for these cars.
Oh.
But as you can see from the screenshot, there's going to be rain. So
Wow.
that is
gonna join Joker. Is that what I'm hoping?
Yeah. I was telling Mish earlier, I think Shaggy's going to like this next one. They have to watch this, because I have a feeling that's going to be his thing. But I will say there is a racing compound required, so it is not going to rain the whole race. But there is, once again, everybody's going to kind of have to think about the strategy to this one, as to when to take the jokers. You have to take the rain into account.
Yeah.
You have to take the fact that this is a very long straightaway. If you are taking the joker with nobody else, you lose the draft. Now, if you've already lost the draft, I suppose that's not a big deal, but this is going to be a lot like Daytona, the very first race we did, where having a buddy that you are in communication with, maybe on a voice chat throughout the race, wouldn't be a bad idea. People are probably going to want to team up for this one. But, yeah, Le Mans, this is also going to be a little bit longer race. This is going to be 20 laps at Le Mans for the competitive split. And by my math, it's probably going to take about an hour and 15 minutes to run the race. So this is a little bit more of an endurance race, which is kind of my thing. So again, this is sort of a combo that I picked more for me. I think this is one I'm going to enjoy watching. I'm going to be jealous that I'm not going to be running it. Anyway, I've been babbling. What do you guys think about this? What's your take?
Yeah, I dig it. And I think more so than Daytona, with the speeds that you get on that straight, to your point, you've got to have a buddy, if not two there. The minute you don't, you're in big trouble. That's going to happen, though. And in that long of a race, you're going to get spread out eventually. But you really need to be in a pack there for the first several laps to stay up front. Oh, and before I forget, Sal did want to point out, Josh Moment said he couldn't wait till the next one so he could try to get a podium and have the correct 3 letters in front of his name this next time, is what he wanted me to point out.
Oh, that's right. I didn't change it. I left it as what it was last time, so that's my bad. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to.
A hard time.
I'll have to figure out how to fix him on that
right.
one.
Yeah.
Or fix him, make it up to him.
I love Le Mans track. Now, granted, I am not the fastest there, but man, it is always going to bring some solid racing. Love the strategy here with the double chicane, the double joker. We saw a lot of fun with Daytona. So I think the cars are, man, those are rocket ships. They're so much fun. I think you've got a really fun setup coming for your birthday party, Sal.
Yeah. Thank you. I went through testing quite a few cars. There were other cars I wanted to use, but I couldn't find. It took me till I got to these 3 that I could find ones that had a close top end speed.
Okay.
Originally, I'll pull back the curtain. Originally, I was looking at going with the Pagani Zonda and the Aston Martin Vulcan. But once you hit top speed, they were separated by, I think it was like 10, 12 miles an hour. And the Vulcan was way worse on tires. So once I started testing it, I had to throw that combo out. I'm like, that's not going to work. I think I tried 4 other cars trying to get them to work together, and it wasn't going to be competitive. And I finally landed on these 3, and I think this is actually going to be a pretty competitive set of cars. They don't have the exact same top speed, but they're all close. We got a mid-engine, we got a 4-wheel drive, and we got the front-engine rear-drive car. So we've got different drivetrains for people to choose. They can run what they're comfortable with. But I will say, the one thing that people are going to definitely need to practice, aside from taking the jokers with a buddy, is getting that car slowed down after that long straight, because you have that little kink beforehand. And with these being road cars, and I should say the tire requirement will be racing mediums. So we are using racing tires, not sport tires.
Okay.
But if you get your car a little loose going through that last kink, before you get under braking, it's really hard to get the car slowed down. So people are going to have to be pretty gentle with these things after, you're going to have 30 seconds of going down that straight to think about it. Kind of dreading, how am I going to slow this thing down? Hoping the guy behind you also gets it slowed down.
Yeah.
But yeah, this should be, I'm looking forward to this combo. I've got a lot to put together. I'll probably be updating the website tomorrow with more of the particulars for this one, but yeah, that's what we got going on.
That is sweet. Well done. Great combo.
Absolutely. That'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. So now we got to figure out who's going to commentate and who's going to race it. So,
Okay.
but we got a month to figure that out. So
TK's just volunteered in the chat to lead comps.
already,
I think so.
he must not want to drive this one.
Yeah, I think that's what I got from that. He didn't. I don't think he wants to drive this particular new combo.
I'm surprised Papa isn't like, let me join you guys. It's got rain at Le Mans. I know that's probably not his bag either. But
Right.
all right. So I think that's going to be it. We're going to wrap it up. Once again, thank you to, 4D Racewear for sponsoring the Joker series. It's made it a lot of fun. Congrats to our winners, PHG, Josh Moment, PHG Ecstasy, and our Frenchman, M. Bouillet, for stopping by and racing with us. That was a lot of fun. I want to shout out some of the other community stuff that we have going on. We are currently in the middle of the PHG World Series, so definitely go to the papashouseofgame.com website to get more information from that. Join the PHG Discord. We also, do all of our discussions for the Joker series in that same PHG Discord and on that papashouseofgame.com website. We are very much affiliated with Papa and PHG. They have round 2 of the races going on this weekend. Tomorrow night and Saturday afternoon, I will be broadcasting both of those, and we will have commentary on those races as well. Shout out to T-Case, who we saw running here. He runs a T-Case Tuesday every night. I think you guys mentioned a few times. He likes running road cars. So if you like this kind of racing, without the Joker laps, T-Case does an awful lot of that when he does his T-Case Tuesdays every night. He also does Thursday Thunder, NASCAR, in the iRacing NASCAR game. He obviously shelved that tonight in order to do this. But yeah, go check out T-Case as well. There's also McNaughty in the NRL. We're very much associated with him and the Naughty Racing League. You can find out more information about him at mcnaughty.gg. And I think that's it for all the mentions I wanted to put out there.
I'll give one mention real quick and tell you that Mr. Ramke joined us in chat and said, "Great race." And guys, if you can hear us, we appreciate you guys joining for sure. It was great to see you guys join us for the Joker series.
Yeah, great racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely love to echo that. Thank you guys for coming out, getting up really early, and you guys put on a show. It was fun watching. I mean, I saw that they were both A+ rated drivers. It was nice to see them come out. So, all right. So I think we'll wrap this up. Any last words, SlowMoe?
Oh, stop by my channel, check out some of the new stuff. We've been playing some Call of Duty Warzone. It's been quite funny, to say the least. So stop by, check that out. Check on your friends. Mental health is a real issue in the country. Make sure people are okay. Don't be afraid to ask them twice.
Absolutely. Amen to that. And C-Dubs, last words from you.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I appreciate you having me here. SlowMoe, always a great pleasure to be in the booth with you. I think we have a lot of fun together, and
we do.
And thanks for the opportunity. And look
you.
forward to seeing everybody for the next round.
All right, absolutely. So thank you, SlowMoe and C-Dubs, for joining me for this and providing excellent commentary as usual. I appreciate that. So until next time, everybody, be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.